All right, 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Episode 6 of the War Room with Triple D. Obviously, I'm your host, Dustin Woods. I got Wes Monebrake here to my right and Zach Riggs to my left. Let's talk a little bit about you guys. Riggs,
What's up?
what the hell are you doing up in Ohio?
Man, Man, that's a good question. I'm actually up here. I decided to come over here and see Wes. Me and Wes, we built a pretty tight relationship over the last, 8 or 9 months. And, I came up here. He wanted me to come up here, and here I am. So, we're just, we're going with the punches, and here we are.
Wes, you let this motherfucker out your house.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Obviously, look. I guess he needed the shop clean. I don't know. But I'm up here.
Well, you've been here for 2 days. We still got to get that done.
I'm
waiting
That
on that to
shop's
happen.
still not clean.
That's
bud.
right.
Hey, we did get a golf cart done today.
That's right. We put a lift kit on a golf cart today.
Absolutely.
Yep, that's right.
No, man, it feels good to be up here. You kind of build a relationship with guys, all across the nation. And just coming up here and building a relationship with Wes and seeing what he does in the shop, it helped me out a lot.
Hey, on a serious note, coming up to Ohio, what'd you learn? Like, why'd you come up here? Like,
obviously
you came up here to a specific
Yeah,
area.
you come up last fall.
I came up. I did. I want to say it was November,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving weekend when I came up here. But on a serious note, I actually came up here from a non-derby related move. Right, it was more of a personal move. I had job offers all over.
You just happened to.
It was kind of more.
He just happened to come to the best.
Obviously,
One of the best two counties in the United States building derby cars.
Yeah, exactly.
No, geographically it was right.
He's
my
no
kids.
dummy.
It was right for my kids. I moved to Ohio.
Okay.
I was 7 hours away. Obviously, if I wanted to go home, I could go home any day.
Mm-hmm.
I came up here. Just it was more personal. It wasn't. It was kind of a non-derby related. But when I came up here, I kind of built relationships with the right people and I got tied into the right people and obviously I learned a lot.
So with that, when you came up here, you built quite the following. Before you came up here, Wes, you probably heard of Riggs before you came up here.
Oh yeah, Riggs Racing.
Yeah, I certainly
Absolutely.
Racing,
I certainly have. So
right.
but I never got a chance to meet you.
Mhm.
So you built quite the following. How did you go about that?
I don't know. Derby's always been a big thing in my life. Since I was a little child. My grandpa, my uncle, my father. My whole family kind of ran the sport, but they weren't super big in it. They ran local. They ran the local circuit. Then I started getting into the sport. And I got in the sport at the age of 13, and I always wanted to be the best of the best. Anything I did in life, whether it was baseball, football, my dad taught me to be the best of the best. And when I got in Derby, the first couple of years, I got my ass kicked everywhere I went. I mean, I literally did. I didn't know how to cheat. I didn't know how to do nothing.
Whoa, hang on.
No, in fact,
you cheat?
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, in fact,
Hey, I didn't know. I would not have had you come up
No,
here if I knew you're cheating on
no,
these cars.
I do not think I would
Yeah.
associate with a cheater.
Look, in fact, the first time I creased, you know what I creased? The fucking doors. The doors were creased, not the quarters or the front. The
It
dog
looked good,
house.
though.
No, actually, it looked like dog shit. Really,
Yeah.
I did not know nothing about Derby. I knew how to build the most simplest chain and bang car, and I went there and had fun. I mean, that's what it was about.
Where was that first show? Do you remember
The
that first show?
Yeah, Blytheville, Arkansas. It was a hometown show, Northeast Arkansas. I ran there the first 2 years, and then that third year. All right, so here's how it went down, right? So when my dad would get a car from our salvage yard, because obviously we own a salvage yard, Preble Auto Salvage there in Northeast Arkansas.
Yeah, everybody kind of wonders what the hell does this motherfucker do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
what does he do?
Our family owns a big salvage yard. It's called Bill's Auto Salvage, and it's kind of like when we got a car. When my dad got a car from the salvage yard, he was told you cannot cheat on it. You build to the rules. You derby this car. You bring it back. And that's
I was taught the same way.
And that's how it was. You
I
play
would
by
never
the rules
cheat.
and you win. No, obviously, no, really. I don't.
I'm there.
Okay, so
100%.
my dad never cheated. In fact, his 16th season, he finally cheated. He said, "You know what? I had enough. I'm gonna cheat." And he put some lawnmower blades in the back of the trunk. So I mean, obviously, it was nothing. I mean, really, it was nothing.
No.
So the first 2 years I started derby, like I said, I was 13, 14, 15. I finally, it's like my third year. They said, same concept. I wasn't allowed to cheat. I get a car, I go derby it, and then I take it home. It was one car a year. It was no big deal. Mm-hmm. It was the third year. They finally looked at me and they said, "Riggs, listen, we got to change the plans. I was like, what's that? He was like, you can't get a car from the yard unless you cheat that motherfucker from top to bottom, front to back. You're gonna go kick ass. And I was like, yes, sir. And at that time, Arkansas wasn't. Really
Are you still working on that?
I'm still, obviously, no, right. No, I'm still learning.
You're still learning.
He's still working on that.
Still learning, I built a lot of relationships with a lot of people, and, I'm very grateful for those relationships, but I feel like I can build a very competitive car and, compete with the best of them.
I wouldn't give you a hard time if you could.
But obviously, it took a lot of years of hard work. It took me going out and exploring new cultures, new environments, meeting new people, building new relationships, meeting new people. It was a long road, but I've learned a lot, and I'm very proud of where I'm at today. When it comes to building a car style, obviously my drive style is fucking sucks. But that's fine. But as far as car building, I'm very confident with my builds, and I'd put them against the best. So.
All right, Wes, over to you, man. Tell us about Eaton growing up. You're a little bit older than us. I am from this.
Whoa, hang on a minute.
Hey, I mean, just a little bit.
Hey, the way my theory is it's hard to believe I'm 29 because most of the time I feel like I'm 26.
We got Riggs.
I'm talking to you, baby. Come on.
We got Wes Monebrake in the house, dude.
We do, actually.
Can you believe that? Preble County's finest.
Man, I'm shocked.
So, Wes, tell us.
Wes, I'm super glad to have you.
Unbelievable. It's kind of an honor. It's actually an honor.
Don't take it too serious.
When you texted me, when did you text me at or called me at 10 o'clock? What was that, Thursday night?
Yeah, I called you last night at 10 o'clock. I was like, hey, what are you doing?
Hey, you want to drive the hour and a half and come over here and bring your podcast shit? And let's do this.
10 o'clock last night, Wes called Dustin and was like, hey, man, come over.
Riggs is here. He's ready for his podcast interview.
It was crazy.
Isn't that something?
Well, then they kept me up late.
So what time did we go to sleep? What time do you think
we
went
Riggs.
to sleep?
Hey,
I went to sleep early.
Dustin
Riggs,
and I, we stayed out till like 3:30 in the morning.
We're not sure what time you went to bed. I think that was a little early.
I went to sleep early.
Yeah.
Were you working? Were you you working in your sleep? Were you?
No, I mean, Riggs.
Your mom would be happy that you went to bed early.
So
she would be really happy.
Yeah. I'm not sure she would be happy with what you were doing when you went to bed early, but
stop it. No,
he went to bed early. That's
did.
all we know.
Yeah.
And
he done his nightly get up and
I think he did a workout. Is that what that's called?
Yes.
Is that a solid workout?
I'm actually.
Was that more abs or what was that?
Can I be honest with you? I'm just gonna tell y'all the story. Listen, I woke up. It's gonna be a quick story. I woke up. I went to Wes's refrigerator. I opened the freezer. There was actually 2 gallons of ice cream. I was like, hell yeah. I get a gallon out. It was like cookies and cream.
It was like 5:30 in the morning.
It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I opened it up. There was a teaspoon left. I was like, fuck. I take a teaspoon. I throw it away. I was like, fuck. There's another gallon of ice cream. I get the other gallon of ice cream. I
guarantee you did this. I heard this.
No, I swear to God. Like, I opened it up and there was another teaspoon of ice cream. I was like, fuck it. I ate it. I threw both gallons away. And the next day, Wes was like, who ate all the fucking ice cream? I was like, seriously?
I just seen ice cream in the trash can. I was like, looks like Riggs was up last night.
Yeah.
Hey, at least I didn't find a hot dog bun in the fridge.
You didn't.
I did not find a hot dog bun.
Riggs, notorious for eating your shit in the middle of the night.
I'm telling you.
And if he can't find a spoon, he compromises.
I'm telling you.
I like it.
Hey, literally eating your shit in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
Maybe even when he goes to bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop.
Riggs ate all the ice cream.
The ice cream is gone.
My daughter wants ice cream, and Riggs ate all the ice cream.
Riggs.
So bad.
So hey, Wes, tell us about this Preble County stuff. How'd you get started?
Shoo-wee. So, I actually am pretty old. I'm really not 29, but
how old are you? Like, tell us.
I mean, I feel like I'm not
be honest.
mid-20s, but
that's amazing.
Wes, you're single. You look 28. I mean,
I'm old.
He looks 28.
But so I went to derbies when I Preble County. We used to have some big shows way back in the day. I mean, like the derby would go on till 3 or 4 in the morning. Every when we had 2 derbies during our fair, and they were both. The first one was always open just to Preble County only.
Right.
And there was a few good drivers back in the day too at Preble County.
What kind of competition were you looking at?
Well, this is when I was just growing up wanting the derby. I mean, like I was in junior high school. I'm like, I want a derby. And
so what like got like did you grow up in it, Or did you just go to the county fair
Just-
and be like, wow,
I
saw
stayed at the
that?
fair. I showed animals when I was young, 4-H. I was in 4-H and those kind of things. So I was just at the fair the whole
Yeah,
week. And
you
I would
just-
always
okay.
just go to the derbies and watch them. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Mhm.
My dad, he never derbied or any of my family or anything like that. So, but I stayed. I had a bunch of friends, and Shannon Pugh, me and him were really pretty much best friends growing up through high school. And he derbies. He still derbies this day. And we're still
44?
Yep, and we're still pretty good friends.
Good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, Shannon's he's
Absolutely.
a good guy. So the very first car I derbied, I used to go stay all night at my uncle's house all the time, and he had this Pinot wagon. That was his vehicle. Like he drove it. Like so.
So his driver.
Oh yeah, that was his driving vehicle.
Shit.
So when it was the year that I had graduated, so I was like talking to him. I'm like, hey, Uncle Ronnie, hey, I need to derby his Pinot. I was
Yeah.
like, I need to buy this thing.
Stop it.
Yeah, I'm serious. So I bought this my Pinot wagon from my
That's
uncle.
your first car.
Oh yeah, Pinot wagon.
In a full size?
No,
Oh,
in a
okay,
compact.
Okay, my bad, my
Okay.
bad.
Yeah, in a compact. So back in the day, like, so I'm taking it. I didn't have a place to build cars. I still lived at home with my parents. Where Shannon, he lived with his father,
Mhm.
and his father was really good. He's a good guy, and I really liked him a lot. I mean, like Shannon's dad was a great guy. He let those guys build derby cars down there. So I took my car to Shannon's. I was like, hey, I bought this Pinot wagon. I'm on my way. He's like, bring it down. We'll
Let's do
build
this
it.
thing, right?
Yeah. So I took it down to Shannon's house, and shoot, we were stripping this thing out on the way back in the day. I mean, like I had a buddy riding in the back seat, stripping this thing out as we're driving it to his house. So it was a pretty good time. But yeah, I really didn't know a lot like about cars and stuff like that. I mean,
So
I just
actually,
knew
your
that I
first-
wanted to derby.
Right. So like you weren't born in it. Like,
Oh, no, absolutely
so
not,
your family
yes.
didn't do it. So you just
No.
kind of caught on. Like so tell me about like your first experience derbying. Like you pick this car up, you're stripping it on the way home.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
super excited. Like your emotions are running. Like tell me a little bit about like your first experience derbying. Like when you actually like. Tell me a little bit about how y'all built the car. Like when y'all built the car, like how was it? The process? Did you know anything?
I didn't know anything when I first started. So like basically I built this car not knowing how to do anything for the most part. I mean, just stripped it out and then had to get a hold of a guy that'd been running Ford compacts in Camden for a few years. I'm like, hey Sam, I need you. How do I wire this thing? I'm like, I don't know how to wire this thing.
Right.
So he explained to us how to wire it because actually Shannon and those guys, they didn't even run no compacts or anything like that. They just ran straight full size cars after we got out of school. And Sam had told us how to wire it and stuff like that. And then, I mean, basically it's just stock. I mean, wired the door shut. If I remember correctly, we didn't even weld the doors or anything. It was compact was really stock back then. So I remember taking it to the fair, ran first night of fair, won my heat.
Preble?
So yeah, so back in the day we had one heat of so actually compacts were starting to get a little decent size back then. And I think there might have been 2 heats of compacts, but they didn't have a feature or anything. You just so used to it'd be like you won compacts if you won your class because there was only one heat. So that was basically the derby, just like Bash now if you have your special heats and those kind of things.
Yeah,
Now at like county fair we have heats and stuff like that. So, but it was just starting to get a little bit bigger, and I'd won my heat the first night. So basically, they top 3, they just stopped the derby, and you wouldn't run it down to the champ, like you wouldn't run it all the way down to see who was the actual winner. No, they stopped it at 3.
Really?
Paid everybody $100. Top 3 cars.
Really?
Just like the big car heats. Yes. Yep.
The big car heats
Yes.
did that shit too.
So like
Yeah.
okay, so
So the big car heats back in the day, we'd have heats. Top 3 cars got $100. The 4th car would get to go to the feature. Is how they
so you're
did it
talking,
in
you're talking heats, okay?
Yes. So, but the compacts, they didn't even have a feature.
The 4th car didn't get paid.
oh okay.
But they
They
could
just-
go to the feature.
Yeah, they
okay,
could go
I
to
see
the
what you're saying. Absolutely.
So-
Absolutely. So like I mean like how was it like for your
Oh, it was
first
a
derby?
blast. I loved it.
So when you're pulling on the track, okay, for the first time ever, tell me
Open
what's
face.
going through your
Oh,
head.
yeah, you got
Oh,
the butter-
hey, yeah, open face helmet.
Guaranteed
helmet.
open
Why?
face helmet.
Like it's crazy.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed. It'd be open
Tell-
face the next time I derby.
Yeah.
So,
Tell me about that. Tell me your feelings going through your bones here.
so I mean, I've ran in a few derbies over the years. I mean, I've ran in dent derbies and those kind of things on concrete, asphalt. I did try, had an old 4-wheeler helmet from where I got a 4-wheeler once, and I was like, well, they're like, you really need to wear that closed helmet.
Yeah,
and I'm
full
like,
face deal,
yeah, the full face. I'm like, I was like, I'll try it because they're like, you're gonna bust your mouth open,
So
bust
you
your
tried
face
it.
open. I tried it. It didn't.
You didn't like
I
it.
think it was at the speed drum up in Indianapolis. So I tried it. I was like, yeah, that's not happening.
That shit's for the
I know,
birds.
but-
he
Yeah,
said.
I didn't even wear it in the feature. I took my
Really?
open face with me. I was like, yeah, because I just like didn't feel like I could breathe and like it blocks a lot of your vision and stuff like that. I really enjoy.
Like,
just
was there
having my
any other
open face.
reasons at all, like why you wore the
No.
open face?
Nope,
It wasn't.
nope.
You
There's
sure?
no story behind that. Just like Dale
That's
Earnhardt. You know, Dale Earnhardt never switched.
I mean, when you
Oh,
think
yeah.
of Wes Monebrake, you think of open face helmets and smiles.
when you think of Eaton, Ohio, I think you think of open face. Like,
no,
Yeah, there's
honestly,
a lot. Yeah,
like,
when I
there's a
first started
lot of
Derby,
guys.
nobody had full face helmet. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody open face.
I'll put it to you like this. My first year at Ohio ever, it was 2000. I want to say 2014, 2015. It was Preble County, Ohio, and everybody out there had open face helmets. Wes had open face. Justin Buchanan had an open face.
Justin
Everybody
Buchanan
open
did not run open.
He
He's got to
in fact,
protect
he
that
did.
pretty face.
It was.
He
I think
can't
it
be
was a
doing
pro
that.
stock heat.
Yeah,
So-
Justin ran a little
I think-
skateboard.
No.
Yeah, oh yeah,
It was
Did he
a-
really?
Yeah,
it
I
was-
think
it
so
was
because he
a,
ran pro
uh,
stop.
I think it was a Mercury, like a 9802 Mercury.
Yeah,
But it was a 0 to 100 real quick on the side, and he could even play the music because y'all had to play the radio.
oh yeah,
You remember that?
yeah. I do remember that.
So I mean, it was pretty unique, but I never saw stuff like that. until I
Hey,
came up
you know, hey, speaking of that, so you ran compacts your first Derby.
I only built one compact car ever. My next car was a
full size.
I think it was a '74 Buick Wagon.
74 Buick Wagon. What's your
Yeah.
first car?
All right, so
Riggs.
my first, you're gonna laugh. It was a '77 two-door Cadillac.
That ain't,
It was a
that
metric.
ain't
It was a
terrible.
metric car.
Hey.
That's all I had.
Ask these guys around Preble County about Cadillacs. I've ran a few of
No,
those.
obviously, I know. New
Yeah,
style
I think
caddies,
Wes
right?
has
Oh,
made his name, you know.
Preble County King over here, is he?
No,
Yeah.
no, not
I
at all.
don't know.
Hey, there's a lot of good drivers in Preble County. Trust me.
Name your top three from Preble.
I can name probably 8 or 9. That's a lot
Hey, how
better than
about
me.
this? Name the top 3 we don't know. Like the names we
Yeah,
don't
obviously,
know.
Preble County.
Like the names we don't know that on the net. You know, we know Mark Elliott. We know those guys.
Right.
All right, we know Paul Petro.
Mhm.
Name the top 3 that we don't know.
From Preble? Maybe
From
local?
Preble.
From Preble.
I don't want to put you on the
I
spot.
mean, like,
Maybe
I'll just
name
go.
5.
I'll name a few of them. I mean, like, there's been a lot of good drivers. I mean, like, bar none. There's other counties that's probably got
Oh,
better drivers
yeah.
and build better
Well,
cars
I,
than Preble
you
County.
know, I
but-
don't know, but
I mean, I put us right up there with. We can build some cars. I mean,
Right.
I used to go build some pretty nasty Malibu wagons. I mean,
Right, absolutely.
I remember going nose to nose with people down at Preble.
I mean, just
And like everybody knows those Malibu wagons
Mhm.
been in the front, but I always had good luck with them. I never really been up
I
front.
mean, you got.
is that Riggs? Is that luck?
It's a
is
really
that- is that what luck?
that's what it is. It's luck.
luck.
Is it
okay,
like- I
okay.
don't know, man.
I'm telling you right now.
Okay, so like,
So, but as far as Preble County drivers, I mean, you can one of the big name drivers that used to be around here that before all these big derbies started.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the most names is Mark Hilbert, number
Really?
400. Mark Hilbert used to win all the time.
what was his car choice like? why
Old
was he
style
so dominant?
wagons.
Oh,
He
really?
ran. Oh yeah, old style wagons, Buick Electras,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Years ago, I remember when I'd probably been derbying for a while, but there used to be a derby. It was in Kentucky, and I don't know if it was in Louisville or where it was, but like basically you went there and you drawed, I think, to get your car, or you
Uh-huh.
took a car for the heats,
Was that a dinner?
but then you had to get your car. They had cars for the feature. And it was back in the day, that was a high paying derby.
Yeah.
$5,000 is what it was, the
So
payout.
that was big. That was huge.
Yeah, but the feature car, I do know you had to build it, and it was one of their cars, and you built it right at the track.
really,
And Mark had won that derby. I mean,
Mark Elliott.
no, it was Mark Hilbert.
Oh,
So
really?
Yeah.
that's one of those things you couldn't do with new school. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Because the old school have the bumpers that you need. They have the motors
Yeah.
that you
Right,
You know,
yes.
isn't that
Right.
that's like
I
a
can't
luxury
remember
we'll never
what
have.
car Mark had, but it wasn't a GM.
It wasn't a G.
No,
was,
it
and he
wasn't.
won.
I don't recall it.
And you're
being
talking
a GM.
old style,
Yes.
and
yes.
it was not a GM. So
Yeah, I don't know if
maybe
it was
a
like an
VLP
LTD or something like
Really?
that, but
Oh,
I
really?
can't really remember. And you know what? I wasn't at the derby, so maybe it was a GM. But if I
Right.
remember right, they were pretty much Fords. So,
Wow.
Really,
Wow.
that's crazy.
But
So like,
like you have, so there was a team called PCHM. I mean, like
and what was that? What does
Preble
that stand
County
for?
Hitmen is what.
Hitmen.
So
And who
I've
was a
seen
part of
that.
this?
I've seen that.
oh
before.
yeah. So like it was around for years around here. Like like people didn't want to go derby. I mean, like because you knew you were going to get smoked when you went to Preble County. I mean, like there was 15, 20 of them. You know what I mean? Like there was a bunch of guys that they all ran together. They were all close. I mean, like there's been so many good drivers out of Preble County. You got the Loveleys, Clinton, Travis Lovely that was really close with Mark, ran PCHM, Paul Petro. I mean, then you got Brett now. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
absolutely, yeah.
You got Richard Davis. Richard Davis, he's running a $10,000 Derby. I mean, like tough driver right here from Preble County. You have Johnny Gayhart, PCHM driver.
He's a bash winner, man.
Yeah,
he's
came
a
back.
hard one.
Came
He's
back.
A good one.
Yeah, he come back. So what's he do? He just
He's a good
comes,
one.
runs the bash, ain't derby in probably 4 or 5 years. Comes back, runs the bash once, wins it, hasn't derbied since the bash. I mean,
No,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at. I mean, you know, I'm gonna throw it out there, but you have one of the top 03 builders in the nation. You know, top 3 03 builder in the nation, and Justin Buchanan from right here in Preble and right here in Eden.
Right, you got Justin.
He's part of that young gun generation.
He's a little
you know
younger.
what I'm saying? Like,
and then you got Roach.
Roach,
I
absolutely.
mean, Roach builds good cars. He's always, been from Preble County. Him and Johnny's brother-in-laws. I mean,
hey, don't refer to Roach as Richard. All right.
Oh, I ain't. You can edit this shit out. But
no, we ain't editing this out.
You got Jason Wisman.
Right.
I mean, Jason Wisman. He's run $10,000 show. Preble County.
He is.
Hey, this is a real deal here.
No, I mean, listen. If you look at your $10,000 winners across the nation, right?
If you go by numbers, I don't know if there's more in a county than Preble County.
Preble County is by far.
I mean, definitely you got the Bronze and Ziz, and
absolutely.
you got Toby.
I mean, just look at this part of the state.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Mercer County, man, there's a lot of $10,000 winners up there too.
No, absolutely, but
that's just the area. That's not that far from here.
Oh yeah, it's a county in between us.
Yeah,
one county in between us.
So
I mean, like I'm good friends with those guys.
No,
I mean,
absolutely. So if you look at it from like a geographical standpoint in the nation, like where do you view your top drivers and your top builders? Where do they come from? To me, honestly, from a personal standpoint, I'm from Northeast Arkansas. I look at Preble County. I look at Salina. I look at those guys in that area. Ohio. Ohio is like your top state in the nation. I mean, look at Toby Holly. Look at Mark Elliott. Look at the Paul Petros. Look at the Wes Monebrake, the Justin Buchanans, the Kelly Crowes, the Allen brothers, the Bronze. I mean, look at the level of competition right here in Ohio. And it's absolutely mind blowing.
So, I mean, that's kind of an interesting topic there because you can get, I mean, you can get real in depth with that. I don't want to say I'm biased, okay? But, I mean.
Wait, where are you from?
Ohio.
Where at Ohio?
Mercer County.
Okay.
Mercer County. Pretty famous. But Toby used to wear this shirt. And, Toby's nationwide. Toby used to wear the shirt that said, Ohio invented badass.
I believe it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man. So I mean, there's a lot of things out there, but I'm throwing it out there. Ohio is where the fuck it's at.
I'm telling you,
where it's at.
There's a local geographic here in Ohio that's got some.
I'll be honest with you. At this table right now, there's only one person that's not from Ohio, obviously, right? So there's only one person that can answer this fucking question. All right, so this is I'm from Northeast Arkansas. Like, Ohio has the baddest builders in the nation. I mean, if you look at Ohio, look at Ziz back in the day. Look where he took the sport. He transcended the sport, right? Look at Toby Holly and where he took the sport. Toby, name a better builder than Toby Holly. Do it right now.
Oh no, Toby's definitely a great builder.
Well, hey, that's a good question.
I mean,
all right,
that's a good question. Maybe we can find out soon.
Let's get into that.
I mean, seriously,
I mean, I've heard a rumor. Rumor's out.
What's the rumor?
Rumor's out. Toby might be having a few motors built. Is what I heard.
Hey, I think he's got a wagon somewhere. I heard. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I believe it.
But there you go.
Seriously?
Thank you.
Y'all really think that?
Yeah,
Toby, Toby ain't out forever.
Hey, we can't tell you everything we know all the time.
Y'all can't tell me everything, but listen to me. I'm telling y'all right now. Y'all are from Ohio. Y'all know Toby better than me, but I'm telling you right now. Me growing up as a young Derby driver, and I'm only 26 years old, but Toby was one of an icon. He was an icon to me.
He was.
When I grew up, I watched guys like Toby Holly. Like you wanted to be Toby Holly. The way he built
great
cars,
driver, great builder.
Drove.
Yep.
Toby Holly, you had your eyes on Toby Holly, obviously. I just think he's one of the baddest builders in the nation. I think what guys are doing now to cars, Toby Holly was doing 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too. I mean, I think over the years it's evolutionized to more of a standard build. Like everybody's builds are
more of
getting
a
closer.
textbook.
Yeah, I mean, like it's
Yeah.
open the book. Do this, this, and this.
Yes, absolutely.
Which my personal self, I don't really care for that as much because I like to be. I like to be savvy on what I do. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah, I
feel
like to be able.
nowadays,
I mean, hey,
it's more of a textbook build. It's
It
more
is.
of a
Well,
bundle.
I call it like a cookie cutter build.
No,
Like
absolutely.
when you're allowed
Absolutely.
32-inch on plates and
Mhm.
you're allowed the front
Right.
plates,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like the car can only bend in certain places.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So like, do you guys like that?
Man, honestly,
I don't.
I don't like that personally.
I think what I really like is let the car builders build some cars. I mean, hey, they get inspected. If the inspectors can't find it, that's fine. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, I inspect derbies too, and like I
get it.
can't find everything. There's
It's
no
hard.
way.
It's
Hey,
hard. I mean,
But
if
if
a
you
guy
got
does a
somebody
good
that
job-
can get it through you,
No,
hey,
listen to me.
that's
Let me-
good. They
let
get
me-
it through you.
Let me make it clear right now on air. The dominant builders, no matter what you give these guys, will always be the dominant builders. You remember back?
Oh no, I
no,
totally
listen,
agree with that.
Go back to 2013. Go back to 2014. A kicker car had no 3/8 plate up front. A kicker had 22-inch
Oh, no,
no
I
plates.
know.
A kicker car was.
I would like to go back to no plate on the
Was
front.
look hard nosed at 23 inches with a 3x5 plate, maybe.
Right.
All right.
Couple
so
chains.
then you go to 2016.
Hey, wait. Why did they change?
I think one of the okay. So
Why
this-
was it?
this
Why
is
was there a
personal
change?
Belief. I think one of the reasons they changed because the dominant builders, obviously, they dominated. And what I mean by they dominated, these cars weren't bending. So what they wanted to do, they went to a 3/8 plate. They went from a 22 to a 32-inch home plate.
So
to put everybody on the same level.
So Riggs, that tells me like promoters
the
wise,
promoters just gave
they
the
want.
builders
Well, hold on,
whatever.
they want everybody on a more level playing field.
Right. Yes.
Absolutely.
But do the drivers want that? Like, what do you?
Obviously, as a driver, and obviously, I don't know how Wes and you're a driver, but if a promotion is going to give me 3/8 plate up front, obviously I'm gonna take it. If they're going to give me from a 22 to a 32, obviously I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take everything the promotions give me. However, I will state this again: your dominant builders are going to continue, no matter what you give them, they're going to continue to be dominant builders. They're always going to be a step or two ahead, no matter what you give these guys, no matter if it's a 3/8 plate front horn show or not.
Right. No,
They're
I
gonna
agree
be
with
dominant.
that. I agree with
You know
that
what I'm
100%.
saying? So when they went to 3/8, man, I felt like the promoters just like gave up pretty much and just gave everybody just here you go.
Yeah,
build
like
the best
like,
of the best and come compete.
Well,
And
it's
the people, even the people that are building 3/8 plate, front horns, are still getting bent.
They
your
are.
dominant builders. are
early
always
in
gonna be
that
the dominant
Blizzard
builders.
Bash era, people
Mhm.
were getting bent, and then they started putting plates on top or bottom of the
actually,
frame,
where
depending on.
Okay, this is a question. Maybe where did your 3/8 plate shows come from? That's a true question.
It
What
I think
promotions-
Smash It.
No.
Blizzard Bash is
No,
what
yeah,
absolutely
that-
not
it
Blizzard
came from-
Bash.
West.
It actually came from Tory Shooting.
Yeah.
I want to say back
Spring
in the
Explosion?
Derby Spring Explosion was, I want to say, one of the first year, and obviously I could be wrong, but Tory Shooting was the first one to give everybody 3/8 plate up front. At Spring Explosion.
Getting into promoting, I can understand why they do that because, you guys as builders, you guys make it hard on us.
Oh yeah.
No,
Like
absolutely.
to fucking make it easy, and make it fair.
Well, and
okay?
it makes the inspection a lot easier and stuff like that when you got a cookie
There's
cutter
no
car.
doubt. Like,
I mean,
like
it really
hey, I
does.
know he's got 3/8 up front. He's probably not doing anything else.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, like, we are always doing something else. Like, it's
Mhm.
always like
Absolutely.
the advantage. It might be like I'm gonna run.
You
Some
heard it
people,
right here. Dustin Woods, cheater.
Yeah,
Fucking
no,
cheater.
no. Yo, what I'm saying is like you guys know it. It's the little things. Like,
It is.
Growing up in Mercer
Absolutely.
County, I always heard from Toby
Mhm.
and those guys. Like it's always the little things. Like some guy might run his 3/8 plate to the top of the frame.
Mhm.
Okay, some guys might run it to an eighth of an inch
Mhm.
from the top of the frame. That is an eighth of an inch difference. That is the difference between winning and losing.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? When you're talking like that.
No, honestly, like if you look at the last, we're in 2019, obviously, right? If you look at the last 7 years, look where we transcended, right? So if you go back to 2013 and 14, there was one guy that stands out to me, right? And it's Adam Fouché. It's Adam Fouché from Kentucky. He stands out. He was one of the first guys ever to run contoured front plates, contoured 3/8 plates, right? They might have not been T1 or A1.
Where was that at? Where was that at?
That
was that
I
show.
could be wrong.
He won
No.
like a $10,000 showdown in
you know,
Kentucky or
I think
something.
when Adam started getting big in the sport, and I may be wrong, but he was more of a DI guy.
Well, there's always there's always going to be questions.
There's always
We can talk about like DPs. I don't know, like because
you gonna talk
DPs.
about Grop? You know, you remember?
No,
Grop?
like no DP distributor protectors.
Yeah, look at the Ziz and Grop. Do you remember the? Okay, I'll take it a step further. Do you remember like when we had to go to WeCrash to the parts section?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To order parts.
Oh,
I
no
remember
doubt.
that. I had to go to the parts section and get skiing.
Hey, I got to direct message you.
Or the Grop combo. Do y'all remember the Halo and the DP combo setup?
Right.
Absolutely.
I had to order that.
Yeah.
Like I was very grateful that I
Like
was in that conversation.
who started that? I feel like you want to give credit where credit's due.
They say
that DP conversation.
That's tough.
Like everybody has their own areas. Like, but in Salina, there's rumors that somebody started it, and then somebody else ran with it. It doesn't mean that it started in Salina.
Yeah, I don't know where it started.
No, obviously, I can't give you.
You don't know.
Fact. I honestly don't know. However, Wes, you're a lot older than I am. I feel like
why you gotta keep bringing up?
I'm not kicking it like that. I'm not chopping it up like that.
Look at that great beard.
No, I'm only 26 years old. Like I honestly feel like at what point in your career, like how would when you started running DP protectors, like who do you feel like? It may be the wrong
I don't
answer.
even remember when we started running DP protectors, but I built my own. Like honestly, for a long time, I built my own parts.
Okay,
I built my own dry shafts. I built my own tail shafts. I built all that stuff.
Right, he still does. But like, at what
point? That's not everybody's Wes Monebrake though.
No,
whatever.
I mean, Wes Monebrake, dude. He's a dude.
No, Wes and Kelly can build himself. But however, this is an honest question. Like, at what point in your career that you felt like at that time, like you had to start going? When did you start going to DPs?
Oh, when they got popular around here, everybody was running them.
What year was that?
Shoo-wee.
What, 07, 08, 09?
It was before then.
Yeah, it was before then.
Yeah, it was definitely before then.
Really?
I'm thinking it was.
I ran my first show in 08, and it was like common knowledge for DPs.
Yeah, I'm thinking it had to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that was for you.
That was my first show. Common knowledge. We bolted it. To the intake. We came
Absolutely.
out. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
We bolted it to the intake. Had a little box around the distributor protector.
Yep.
That's all we did.
Had a small mid plate with a DP.
No, we didn't have no mid
plate.
plate.
Bolted to the back of the head.
No.
Came up.
Exactly.
And just come back, and you actually had kickers down to the intake
those front two intake bolts.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then to the back of the.
And what year was that? What year do you?
If I had to guess, I'm guessing like 03, 04, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 08 is like it was common knowledge, so it had to be
absolutely
before then.
I tell you, as a young adult, I'm only 26 years old, but I mean, if you
he's
look,
single out there, all the women. I mean,
ladies,
he's advertising. He's advertising.
Ladies. Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's advertising.
No, go get in the fucking corner. No, I'm serious. No, listen, like, I honestly remember back in the 90s, Ziz, I want to say Ziz was running box Fords. Like, this was mind blowing to me. When I started doing research on where we were at as a sport, where we're headed. I started doing research on the dent derbies back in the day. This was like 12 or 13. I started doing research, and Ziz was running box Fords back in 98, 99.
See, I would
tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
The thing is, I would love to have Ziz on here and talk about that stuff because the guys at Ziz
call them out right now.
Exactly, Ziz, get your ass on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Everybody wants to hear what you got to say, but like seriously, Ziz was running with guys like Pat Browder, those guys back in the day from Salina, Ohio, and
absolutely,
they were building shit like that. I mean, Ziz was running those shows, dude.
No, it's crazy. It's actually mind blowing because I'm a kid from Northeast Arkansas just trying to make it, right? And when I do my research, you think it's Ziz. You're over there smiling.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I'm good friends with Scott.
No, I'm serious. Like,
me and Ziz are good friends.
You got to think where the sport has landed. You got to think Ziz. You got to think Toby Holly. You got to think Mark Elliott and those guys.
Hey, whenever I get ready to do something to a car, I mean, for years,
seriously,
I'd call Scott. I'd be like, "Hey, this is what I'm throwing around. What do you think of it?"
Right.
We'd talk about it
because he's thought of that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You want to bounce it off a guy.
Obviously.
I mean, there's been times I tell him what I'm thinking about it. He'd be like, "I don't think you really think that's going to help that much." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll try it." And then after the Derby, we'll see how the car does, and he'll call me back and be like, "Did you do that?"
Damn, dude.
Oh, yeah, I did it. He's like, "Yeah, that's good." I mean,
it's actually crazy.
I mean,
to sit here and think.
He's
about
very
it.
good to run stuff off of.
You know, if you look at Ziz and them, man, you know, they have transcended the sport to something special. And just to like for Ziz to be here, just sitting here, like I would love to tap in his brain and like actually ask him.
We know what you want to tap in on him.
I hear you, Dustin.
Easy
No,
now.
seriously.
That is not
Wes,
getting edited.
PG-13.
neither.
PG-13.
You're gonna
but
get
here,
grounded.
boys.
No, listen, man. I would love to sit here and ask Ziz questions, man, because you know he's a big part of our culture. He's a big
Oh, yeah,
part of
he
our
is.
history.
Yeah.
And
First
think,
time I ever met Scott, ran first. I think it was the very first Net Derby, Pontiac Silverdome.
Stop it.
Yeah, so I ran.
You're
he
that
ran.
old?
Hey, tell us a little bit about that.
So that was the first time that I'd met him. I'd actually ran. Me and Justin Buchanan's dad ran. Glenn Cisco.
Right. The
Glenn,
nasty.
hey, right there.
The nasty boys.
Glenn was. Hey, back in the day, Glenn was one heck
They
of a
say
good
it
builder
was.
and good driver, man. I'm telling you.
What was y'all's team?
I mean,
name?
another Preble County guys.
Yeah, the nasty boys.
We were the nasty
So
boys.
go
You're
ahead,
right.
go
Yes. But we went up. We ran Pontiac Silverdome, and I didn't even know Scott.
Where
back
was
then.
that located at?
Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That was in Detroit?
yes.
Yeah.
Pontiac
Really?
Silverdome
So how
was
far
in
was
Detroit.
that from here?
It's probably like 3.5, 4
Oh,
hours.
Yeah, it's only.
Yeah, it's not too bad if I drive at all. Yeah, Todd Dubay, he was doing some good stuff with Derby, and I mean, I haven't heard from him in years, but I actually got to be pretty close with Todd. I ran Dent for several years.
Where
I
was
mean, for the
Todd
most,
from?
Todd was from New York, and then the last I knew, he was living in North Carolina, but I haven't heard from him in years. So, but he was doing a good thing with the Dent promotions and stuff. But
Absolutely.
so Glenn, I was a little bit younger than Glenn, and Glenn had been running Mount Pilliard for years and stuff like that. So he had knew Zizelman, and so he had talked to him earlier in the day and stuff, and introduced me to Scott, and I talked to Scott and stuff, and but one of the things I'll always remember about Scott is he'd come around the corner in his car. I mean, all up in the accelerator. Somebody's like, "What kind of motor? What do you got in that thing?" He goes, "Stock, unhooked the proportioning valve to the tranny." I mean, I'm sure. I mean, like had gear and big ass motor and stuff like that.
Scott
But just,
was like the
hey,
first
just
ones
fucking,
to be
just
doing
screwing
it.
with people.
Yeah.
I mean, like it was funny. So that's how I first met Scott. So, and then I never even really talked to Scott till the next Dent Derby. To be honest with you, like a year later when we ran this. Let's see, what was it? Steubenville, Ohio. They moved it to Steubenville. St. John's Arena in Steubenville, as I believe is what the arena was called. Shooey, probably the dirtiest derby I've ever ran in my life. You couldn't even see across the arena. There was so much black smoke. They were calling the ambulance in, bringing people out. It was crazy. But Scott ended up winning that Steubenville Derby, the first Dent Derby that he had won.
Surprise, surprise.
So, but and ever since then, me and Scott have actually been pretty good friends. Scott, for the most
over
part,
here choking so bear with
I'm
me.
not sure
Hey.
what you're choking on.
Yeah.
Last night's cookie, or what are you talking about?
Go ahead, Wes. Go ahead, Wes.
But so Scott, he'd always show up to derbies with his rollback. He wouldn't bring no tools, no nothing. He'd just show up with his car. Here I am.
That
I'm here to
rollback
derby.
that he was showing that he had for what? 10
Oh, yeah.
years, 15
Yeah.
years?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
he used to just
Scott was in a rollback.
Scott owned a rollback, and that's what he drove
Really?
around in.
yeah. So I took a Pontiac sedan, I think, to that derby, and
Right.
something stupid had happened to me, and I couldn't even get it ready for the feature. But Scott, he was wearing around looking for front tires. I'm like, hell, let's just take them off my car and put them on your car. So that's how Scott and I actually become friends. I'd like use my tires. He ran the feature, ended up winning the derby.
So,
Got them back to me a couple weeks later, and ever since then we always talk.
so like obviously you've been in the game for a while, and I
Couple
think,
years.
a lot of years. Just so you know, I'm just kidding. No, this is a question that gets brought up a lot. You've been in the game for a while, Wes. Where do you feel like where do we stand today compared to 5 or 6 years ago? Where do you think the sport is headed? Where do you think we are today?
Oh, I think kind of a little bit like what we talked about earlier is like, I mean, it's pretty much you build a car out of a recipe book. You know what I mean? Here you go. This is how you build a derby car. I mean, the one thing that is changing a lot, because a lot of the county fairs have gotten a lot smaller derbies, car counts, and stuff like that. And the one thing that's really helping the county fairs is bringing back the stock shows and stuff like that. So that's
The
really
pro
nice.
stock,
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
So I think that is the good thing. It gives everybody the opportunity to build
Jordan
cars
Pryor.
for all the different classes.
Smile,
Yeah, actually-
motherfucker, smile.
Jordan.
Smile, motherfucker.
Hey.
I just want you to smile.
Jordan, I didn't bring you up. I did not bring you up.
Y'all come
I'm telling
sit.
you right now. America, God bless America. Get in here.
God bless
Is it
America.
time to sing the
Hey,
Pledge of Allegiance?
Yeah.
Hey, we can stand up for the
Hey,
pledge.
come over here.
Just come sit down.
Come over here.
I'm sipping on my drink.
Where's Brian at?
No, seriously. Where is Brian?
Happy. Why can't I be happy? Why?
No, we're all happy.
Yeah, we're all
everybody's
happy.
happy.
Is Brian with you?
No.
Where's he?
Oh, this is not good.
Stop it.
We're gonna have to edit this out of the podcast. This is
Come
not-
over here. Let's
Yeah.
do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hey, come
we
over
need,
here.
Hey, we need the Pledge of Allegiance.
Come
No,
over here.
seriously. get the fucking chair.
Hey.
My Dustin, dog. I
It's
swear to
not good. This is not good.
God. We're fucking editing.
Yeah, but there's no doubt.
Like this might be
I
a
guarantee-
hey.
This is getting
This is
edited
like a
before
bloopers.
Dustin goes
yeah,
home.
yeah,
No,
like,
hey,
yeah,
this-
like, this is not gonna be ever played again.
Listen, this might be a blooper.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so you know.
Oh.
No, seriously. So where were we at? Right. So no,
Um,
honestly, Wes, we asked you. You've been in the game for a long time. Do you feel like we're headed, down the right road? Do you feel like there's some changes? Are you comfortable where we're at as a sport?
Oh
I mean,
yeah, I think it's actually like definitely. I mean, date and age. It goes with the where we're at in our era of life. You know what I mean? I mean, like
Obviously.
social media and all that
Uh-huh.
stuff. I mean, you never seen any of this stuff when I first started derbying, like on the
Uh-huh.
internet and those kind of things. I mean,
So you're comfortable with it? I mean,
yeah, I am. I mean, like I'm more of a builder though. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't like the cookie cutter cars as
Right.
much as like building a car. I mean,
Mhm.
myself, I like to build a car. I mean, and that's one thing I like about
Hey,
Spectre. I mean,
we saw a shop. I think he likes to be in the garage.
he does.
You
he
know,
does.
Yeah.
I think he
Yeah.
likes to be in the garage.
Man, I'll be honest with you. This is obviously a question for you as well. Dustin.
I haven't been in the garage near as much as I should the last several years. So
go ahead and tell
my
everybody.
my oldest son my youngest son. So I got a son that's
Right.
27.
Uh-huh.
He's in Indianapolis as a police officer right
Uh-huh.
now. My youngest son, which just graduated high school this year, he's
Mhm.
going to go to the University of Indianapolis here and
Mhm.
wrestle for them.
That's great.
That's awesome.
So I've been coaching wrestling for about the last 15 years. So garage time just got upped.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so Wes Money breaking the garage a lot more.
Oh yeah, I'll be in
Does
charge
it?
over
Are we
winter.
talking like turn
Oh.
back the clock, like 2020?
Yeah, I would.
2020?
I don't know if they're having the turn back clock class, but I
No,
really do.
this is
I
the
really
question.
do hope they have the turn back clock
I,
class.
ho-
'Cause
I hope so too.
I really would like to run the turn back class.
Are we thinking
one
a
more
wagon?
time.
Are we thinking Wes in a wagon?
Oh yeah, I'll be in a wagon again
Oh,
probably,
wow.
or
Wow.
a stand. I took
Oh,
a
wow.
nice
Now, Wes,
Buick
you gotta
Electra.
bring a crew now. So like, yeah, I mean, you know how
That
this
is.
is.
Hey,
with
you know
teaming.
what? It is.
It's a team deal now.
It is
you
a
know?
team deal. It is a team deal. But one
It
thing
is.
about me is I've actually. I mean, like you always. I mean, like Preble County. I've been very successful in Preble County. I've never won a big show. Would I like to? Oh yeah, I would really love to win a big show.
Mhm.
I mean, I'd like to beat some big names. You know what I mean? I'd like to go and win a big show. It'd be real nice.
Mhm.
Will it ever happen? Yeah, you never know.
Right,
I mean,
absolutely.
you got to have a lot of things on your side
lot
for
of
that to
things, yeah.
happen. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're the best driver out there,
Mhm.
if you got the best car out. I mean, you got to have a little bit of luck too.
Mhm.
No doubt.
mean,
no doubt.
I actually haven't ran those big shows very often. A little more the last probably 5 or
Maybe.
6 years. I want to win the bash. I mean, I want to win turn back clock. I mean, I know there's some real heavy duty hitters up there
Right.
that you got to beat. I mean,
So
the Bronze are
I think
definitely
they're,
got it going
you know,
on.
they're looking for competition.
No,
Oh
Like
no,
Joey
hey,
said
I'm
it
friends
this
with
year,
them.
like-
I mean, like, hey, and I like all those guys. I mean, I do.
Right.
I mean, I do whatever I need to do to
Yep.
help them out and those kind
They're
of things.
good.
but-
Hey, they're good people,
They
but
are.
it's like, hey, I want a little
oh
piece
no,
of that.
they were messaging
No,
me.
absolutely.
Yeah,
hey,
like,
hey, before the Derby, I can pull up some messages that.
yeah, like, hey, you running?
I mean, like, yeah, Trace is like, hey, been awful quiet down there. What you got going on? I'm like, actually, here, I'll just go ahead and talk for a second, Riggs.
You want me to go ahead and talk?
Yeah, just talk for a
No,
second.
so obviously he probably said that because he knew Riggs was in town, right, Wes?
That's
Yeah.
Riggs.
He
Come
was like,
on.
yeah,
Hey, I don't know if Riggs would come up and run the turnback clock.
Man, honestly,
do you think Riggs? Does he got the balls to do that?
You may be honest with you.
Wes,
Yeah,
No.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be completely honest with you.
scared?
So-
go ahead.
So, like, I don't know. It was a couple weeks before the Derby. I mean, like I said earlier, I haven't really ran a lot of big shows. I really haven't. I mean, I've probably ran the Bash and stuff like that maybe 6 times, maybe 5 times. I don't know. But I've gotten to be good friends with like the Bronze and stuff like that. We talk. I mean, Joey, he coaches wrestling, middle school wrestling up
yeah,
there.
really.
I mean, so like I mean, like stuff like that sticks to you. I mean, like you really appreciate people that put in like the hard work with kids and stuff like that. I mean, you know, I mean, you just don't flip over or flip a coin and have a hard derby car neither. I mean, it takes a lot of time
No,
to build a hard
absolutely.
derby car, and
No,
I really
absolutely.
appreciate. I mean, drivers that can build good derby cars and go out and kick everybody's ass all the time. I mean, that's one thing about me is I go to a derby. If I might get smoked, I mean, you could ask these guys around Preble County. I used to never cry about anything.
Mhm.
And PCHM used to kick my ass on a daily or a freaking every time I go
Right.
down there.
Absolutely.
I just go home and go back to the drawing board and be like, okay, what do I got to do different? What do I got to do different? I just keep adding stuff and getting better, and then I end up being pretty successful. But a couple weeks before the bash this year,
I'm dying to know. Tell me.
Yeah, we gotta
Trace,
hear this.
yeah, Trace.
We
So
gotta hear
Trace
this.
had messaged me. He's like, "Hey, been awful quiet down your way, boss." And I was like, "I've been really busy," and I am.
Oh,
okay.
So,
the old
I
busy
stay
streak.
busy, man.
So-
Coaching high school
No.
wrestling. I mean, so we're coming right off wrestling season, so it's
But-
a
but-
busy,
but
busy
at the
sports.
same
And then I
time-
started right in on softball.
Right. But
So then he's like, laugh out loud. I figured that. I'm like, he's like,
yep. You
because
made
you
him
guys
guess.
had
So.
wagons in previous.
oh
years.
yeah,
No.
we've had. I mean, I've built.
Yeah.
I've actually built some pretty decent cards to take to the bash.
You
Turn
made
back
it-
the clock.
No, there-
Wes,
hey.
you made him guess. The
Yeah.
comment that you came back with was like, "Hey, I've been pretty busy."
Oh, and I wasn't lying.
But
And I was
you weren't
being serious
lying,
with
but
you.
at the same time,
Absolutely.
you were like,
Yeah.
you know what, motherfucker.
And
No
he's like-
games, no
so
games.
then
You
Trace
don't
is
play
like,
no games.
Trace,
Yes,
she's-
Tracy.
he sends me back right away. He's like, you know what we're working with up here? What are you working with down there? I'm like,
Mhm.
well, I'll tell you what I'm working with. I'm working with an 8U softball team. That's what I'm working with.
And hey, that's a
Really?
tough task.
I'm
That's
telling
a
you
tough
right
task.
now.
Tough task.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And he's like, of course, Trace is like, laugh my ass off. You
Yeah,
dick."
yeah.
And he's like, so you ain't running turn back clock this year? But I didn't want to just say no. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, oh, you never know. I got a car. I might cut a couple plates off frame.
And
bring
you
down.
know, honestly,
a pre-ran.
you never know.
And-
I mean,
and
like,
if I
unless
would've
it's like a month before.
Oh yeah, it's 2 weeks. Yeah,
You're
It
like,
was-
no,
you
you
can
never-
make
this
a
was-
decision like,
this was
oh,
2
this
weeks,
came
and I had a
up,
car
like,
that I could cut some plates off and
Yeah,
take. And
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
No, okay,
I
so
just was busy
you
though.
know, this is a serious.
Would I have
question.
liked to ran? Absolutely. Would
No,
I?
absolutely.
They junked my ass again? Probably so.
No.
Who knows?
Yeah.
No,
But I'd have had a good time.
no,
I guarantee
like
it.
so, where do you stand? Because you know, you Wes Monebrake, you've been very successful at Bash for Cash. You know, where does Bash for Cash stand today compared to 3 or 4 or 5 years ago? Like, where do you see it? Like, what's the road we're headed down?
Oh, I mean, it's a derby that everybody wants to win. I mean,
Obviously,
I've never
look at
been
the
out to.
competition.
I've never been out to Blizzard Bash.
Uh-huh.
I know it's supposed to be the #1 derby in the nation and stuff like
Hey,
that.
we
but
got to go this year.
I'm in this year. No
We're
coaching.
this
Hey,
year.
no
I'm
coaching
serious.
high school wrestling.
no coach.
I'm
Yeah,
in.
that's right.
Absolutely
Hey,
not.
So
Yep.
Wes Monebrake will be at
He'll be
Blizzard Bash.
drinking
Yeah.
beer at Bash. Hey,
2019.
signing autographs, probably.
Yeah, there
it
will
will be a
signing
real fucking
autographs.
time.
if we're gonna sign autographs, I'm gonna bring somebody more
th-
famous than
this
me
is a
with me. I'll
topic-
bring LeBron's or somebody. We bring.
I think
Toby
Toby
already.
out there.
Toby already be out there.
Toby
so
would be signing
Oh,
autographs.
yeah. So Toby.
But serious question, like compared to Blizzard Bash this year, or not Blizzard Bash, but Bash for Cash this year, where do you view it compared to now on a competition level, compared to 3 or 4 years ago?
I mean, I think it. I mean, it was actually probably about the first time that I ran turnback clock at the bash. It was loaded up.
Oh, it was.
I mean,
loaded.
you had
it was
Pete,
completely
Paul,
freaking
Brett.
stacked.
You had
We've talked about this.
we
LeBron's
talked
is-
about this.
oh, yeah.
You
You
had
had-
the Petros.
you had
Highlands.
Highleys, Toby,
You
and
had
his
the
dad,
Highlands.
Randy.
You had
I mean,
the Pinwells.
oh yeah.
You had you look at everybody around this area from Preble to Salina,
Oh,
from
yeah,
everybody in the
absolutely.
nation. You had at Bash for Cash.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays, the last 2 years, you're not necessarily seeing that.
Yeah, what's
in the east.
happening there?
What's
going
happening?
on?
I mean, I think people just. I don't know. I mean, like me, I would have ran if I wouldn't have been so busy. Just like I said, if they got it this year, I'll be there. I'll be back.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is
I'll
a
be
topic. Yeah, no shit.
Hey,
This is
you
a
gotta
topic.
have it. You gotta have turn-back clock this year.
yeah.
No,
Hopefully they have it.
this
It's
is
a
a
it's a
topic.
good show, and like the reason car counts low, it's always a good heat. You know what I mean?
No, obviously.
I mean, even if it was a one-shot deal,
Mhm.
it's gonna be a good heat.
Listen, people want to see those wagons.
Oh
man.
yeah,
And those
absolutely.
wagons,
Absolutely.
like
Absolutely.
we talked about cookie cutter cars. Like when the Ford's pull on the track, it's like, all right, this
Right.
is like,
Absolutely.
Mhm.
this is like 1, that's 2, that's 3.
Yeah.
The wagons, they stick out.
No, they do. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you obviously want to see a clamshell. I mean, you want to see a well-built clamshell no matter where you go
Oh yeah.
in the nation. Obviously, Salina. When you think of Ohio, you think of wagons. You think of built wagons, and I think when people come to Bash for Cash, they want to see built wagons. So
Right.
this is a question that that we all brought up. and this is a question that would always be brought up going forward. If you look at Bash for Cash and the car count this year, it was kind of devastating, right? Obviously,
I don't know about devastating.
Yeah, I don't know.
Decent.
Like I said, I've never been to Blizzard Bash, but in my opinion, I mean, Bash for Cash has got a lot of cars. I mean, it's got it going on. There's a lot of stuff going on.
She's rocking. Don't listen to me. I'm not taking
Tim and Russ
away.
they've got it going on, man.
No, they do. Yeah. I'm not taking nothing away from Bash for Cash. But if you view Bash for Cash in 2019 compared to 2017, 2016, we're not the same. We're not the same Bash for Cash.
No,
let's be honest. I mean, let's hear about it. We're really not the same Bash.
Well,
for
there's
Cash.
just less drivers and stuff like that.
If you look, so like, let's get to the core issues here. Why do you think that? Why do you think?
Well, I mean, because the Browns definitely are dominating the turnback clock. I mean, they're dominating every year. So I don't know if it's because people are afraid to go and try to take them on or what it is, or just getting tired of getting beat by them or whatever.
If you look at turn back the clock, no matter what competition, right? The Browns are always there, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, if you go back to the 2014 season, 2015 season, I mean, you had your Browns, you had your Mark Elliott's, your Just Buchanan's, your Shannon Roger. I mean, you had all your guys, your Ingrams, your Monroes. You had the.
I think that was the first year I ran turnback clock.
Right.
I took a Malibu wagon.
So no matter what, the Browns were always there at the end. So my question to you is like, compared to 3 years ago, why do we have less competition today? Why do we only have 30 turn back the clock class cars today?
What you think, Wes?
And that's
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Do you think we're?
The cars are definitely expensive.
Obviously that. But listen, like I honestly feel, and this is me, and Dustin, you can comment as well. But do you feel like we're a top heavy sport? Do you feel like we have a lot of older guys, starting to get out of the sport, but we don't have younger guys filling the spots?
Oh no, I think
honestly,
we do. Like so around here. Just in like our county, I mean, like there's a lot of younger drivers getting started and stuff like that.
You honestly feel that?
Yes, I do. I actually do. I mean, like I know, like last 2 graduating classes from our high school. There's a lot of boys that I coach in sports that are always messaging me about derby cars and stuff like that, wanting to get into it.
That's actually awesome.
No,
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah. So that is a really good thing.
Absolutely.
So I mean.
That's actually the first that I heard something so positive.
Riggs, you talk about that, and it's like I think there's a number of factors that play into that. Like Wes said, he's busy, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes he can't dedicate the whole winter or dedicate the off season to building that wagon or to compete, right?
Right.
Browns have showed up. And they're full force, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're showing up with 3 or 4 wagons, all right?
Right?
And I don't think it's anything to be detrimental to them. I think it's the rest of the derby world. I don't think people have showed up to the bash with the right mindset. And what I mean by that is dude, to beat them, they're bringing 3 or 4. Okay?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're running with a couple people. Okay. So you got to beat 7, 8 cars.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
So
you feel that way.
Oh, I mean, last year, me and Kelly Crowell, we took 2 wagons. We were prepared to battle.
No, absolutely.
And we were prepared to battle. And I'm friends with the Browns. I mean, we talked and everything.
But hey, it's time to win.
We probably weren't in their top 10 that they were running with. I mean, we probably was not.
So
because the next thing I knew, I got pushed over on the seam bend by a guy that I didn't even think was going to hit me. You know what I mean?
So when you think of turn back the clock,
last year I really
you got to go through the Browns.
Oh
yeah,
absolutely.
but you got to go through the Browns. But you first off, you got to build cars.
Oh yeah, you got to build cars.
Competing.
Absolutely.
Okay, then you got to. I feel like a lot of guys have ran together. Okay,
right.
But you can't trust them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Obviously you have that everywhere you go.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Those 4 guys, it's like Toby said it best. It's blood before dishonor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We will not dishonor each other.
So
go ahead and get 7 guys that will not dishonor each other, and then you got a chance. That's really what it is, man.
Right.
No, obviously
that's kind of what That's kind of what it's been, barring engine troubles or something.
Numbers are hard to beat. Real hard to beat.
Why has it turned into a numbers game? What's going on?
It's been a numbers game ever since I've been derbying here in this county.
Really?
Absolutely.
I think so too.
You had PCHM huge numbers around here forever.
You know, it's unique.
I'd go home with
Mhm.
nothing every week. Every time I go to a derby around here.
You know, it's unique that Wes says that. You know, obviously, you know, Wes is a lot older than me. You know, he's been in the game for
Fucking, there's that age thing again.
Shut the fuck
Fucking
up, Wes.
dick.
No,
I think
obviously,
it's like gray hair.
I ain't getting
That
no
gray
pussy
hair
on
in your
this
beard.
thing.
No, obviously, you know, Wes.
No
you know,
doubt.
Wes has been in the game a lot longer than I have. But you know, I can tell you, even when I was a child, you know, when I was 13, when I was 12, you know, getting in the sport, it was always tough because, you know, I wasn't a part of politics. You know, you know, when I jumped in the sport, I wasn't always on the best side of politics. I didn't have the best car numbers. I wasn't on the number side. And, you know, that's been that's been a huge factor, you know, ever since, you know, I first started, even when I was young. So, you know, it's kind of crazy that, you know, you say that, you know, as long as you've been in the sport, you know, you kind of mention the same thing, you know, and you know, it's been the same for me. So, obviously you got to be on the side of the numbers.
Oh yeah.
You know.
You don't always have to be.
You don't always have to be, but
if you're
75% of the time, you know,
like,
you have to.
if
be.
you're running against the Bronze,
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be tough to beat them. I mean, there's 4 really good drivers and 4 great drivetrains.
Mhm.
I mean, like it's gonna be tough to beat them.
Like that shit's
You're right.
you know, top of the line.
Oh, absolutely.
No, absolutely.
You know, guys,
No, really.
you guys didn't get a
Absolutely.
chance. I mean, I ran against them at Mercer County. That was my first ever derby. I mean, dude, they
How'd
did
it
this
go?
shit. Not good for me, but
Oh, okay.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
nah. Hey, I made the feature.
Admit
Okay.
it. Admit it.
No. I'll tell you what happened.
Talk to me.
Legit. Okay. In the heat, everybody, you know how everybody does at the bash, right? They're like, hey, we're going after the bronze. Okay. Trace just happened to pull our heat. Okay. So Trace pulls our heat, and everybody says, hey, we're going after the bronze. Well, me, young, naive, what do? I fucking go after him. I mean, Trace is in our heat. I feel like I'm the only one hitting him.
Stop it.
Oh, there ain't no doubt. I'm the only one hitting him.
You went after Trace, like, straight up.
Yeah, ask him. Like, I went after him, okay? There's no doubt, okay? But everyone, you got to realize, Riggs, that everybody that I was running with, okay, okay, said, hey, we're going after him.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I can imagine.
And guess the only motherfucker that did was me,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So,
Right.
anyways, we get to the feature, okay? And Trace does make the feature.
Mhm.
And so guess what happens?
What happened?
We
You
got
numbered.
Josh, we got Joey, we got Trent in the feature, and there's only like 9 cars. Okay?
What year?
This is 08. 08. Okay, you can watch it online.
Way back.
So we only got 9 cars.
Mhm.
Guess who gets their shit knocked in the dirt?
Guarantee.
Yeah.
Guaranteed I got my
Dustin
shit
fucking
knocked.
Woods.
Yeah, first one out. Watch it online. Like Dustin Woods first
Dustin
one out.
Woods.
They even say that, dude. Joey
Wow.
hit me so fucking hard. I think
Right.
I'm still feeling it. I'm not shitting you. It was rocking.
Hey,
You know, and I
hey.
know what it came from.
Mhm.
But those motherfuckers, okay, I still give those guys shit. They wouldn't hit them. They
Right.
would talk the most shit in the world.
Mhm.
We are only hitting bronze. We're only doing this. Similar to turn back the clock, right? We're only hitting bronze. Nah. When they got out there in the middle, meet the road,
You know,
that's not what happened.
Wes, you know, you may think I'm crazy, but you know, I think the best time to beat the bronze was years ago. You know what I mean? Like look at your 2015 series. Look at your 2016 years. Those were the times to beat the bronze. The bronze.
2020.
No,
Zach Riggs.
No, listen.
Out.
No,
Scared.
No, honestly, I'm not running.
That
tournament
what?
Bronze,
Zach
I'm not-
Riggs is not running
Listen,
2020.
I'm not running tournament the clock. The bronze will run the fucking table no matter how long Bash for Cash is alive.
Well, if Zach
The
Riggs,
best time to
if
fuck
Zach
Riggs.
Riggs don't show up, then
No, I'm not running
the
tournament the clock. So bronze, Trace. Obviously, y'all know I'm not running against y'all. Holler at me. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just.
You ain't
kidding.
gonna give
No,
nobody
seriously.
else a chance to win.
No, seriously. Obviously, the best years to beat the bronze.
You don't think
was the
Heinens
14,
will like?
15, 16.
You don't think Heinens will
Man,
actually
honestly,
like
I honestly
try
thought,
to win the Derby once?
Really, you're really gonna go there?
I mean, I was
Do you
saying,
want to go
like,
fucking there?
they try to win it.
No, obviously this year, was a weird ending. Obviously it was.
Yeah.
It was a controversial ending.
No,
I don't.
wasn't.
I
It wasn't at all.
I really actually don't think it was a controversial.
I'll
I mean, if you want to just put blindfolds on and listen to this crowd, then yes, you would think that.
obviously,
Yeah.
The crowd, being so hateful towards the Bronze, that just shows you how
Hey, listen, if they're booing,
the Bronze are
that's
that
a good
fucking
thing.
dominating,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
if they
No,
hate, that's a good thing.
I was actually in the stands. I'll be honest with you. I was actually in the stands, and I was next to y'all, but I was getting fucking goosebumps. I was like, oh my god, like all
that
these
was
people.
from Dustin rubbing your leg.
Oh, I believe that
Come
shit.
on now.
For everybody to boo against the
Somebody
Bronze,
else in the room, I think.
Seriously, you looking way over there? Huh? No, seriously.
Somebody else.
But listen, for everybody to boo the Bronze, like it gave me goosebumps. That just goes to show you how great they really
Well,
are.
it shows you. Yeah, it absolutely shows.
And be honest with you, and I'm gonna be straight up honest. Trent was something fucking special. Dustin Woods told me to pay attention to one driver, and that was Trent. And, I watched Trent. He was something special, but I don't think he was a top 3 driver at this Derby. I think he shouldn't have got top 3. I think the other drivers had a chance to get Trent out, but they didn't execute.
Well, he just had car problems. I mean, it wasn't that he wasn't a good
right,
driver.
right.
I mean,
but
actually, he drove the car really well.
No,
I mean, it didn't have
no,
steering forever.
No,
I mean,
obviously Trent done
so-
everything he needed to do to get down to top 1.
Trent
right?
really impresses me every time that he runs in that shit.
But Trent at this particular Derby, Trent shouldn't have got top 3.
I don't know about that,
He,
man.
he didn't get top 3. He won that.
Yeah,
Sunday.
He won
I
that
think-
motherfucker. No, he did.
That's
he
right.
won it.
He
won
didn't
that
like, oops, I
But-
got top 3. He won it.
And I'm telling you right
Hey,
now, I'm
Trent
nobody,
is probably one of the best drivers in the
No,
United States. I mean,
well,
like, he's good.
Hey, let's talk best
let's talk
drivers.
about it.
Let's
Let's
talk
talk
best
about it.
drivers.
Because
Because we talked in the truck today.
I think so. I think it's a obviously it's a biased opinion, but I think it's also a very important subject that we talk about. Who do you think the best is? Dustin? Like,
Well,
obviously, when you think of like the
Well, he's probably going to say Trent.
No,
Because he kicked his
fucking
ass the one
obviously.
year.
Nah,
Oh.
well, Trent didn't kick my ass. It was Joey and fucking
No.
Josh. that
No,
kicked my
I'm
ass.
obviously-
sorry, Trace. He's going to say Trace is the best
No, you-
driver because
Nah.
he
you-
smoked Trace's ass. He's like, oh, yeah, Trace is the
I
best
would never
driver.
say that. in a
If
million
you think
years.
of Dustin Woods, you think
I
of
guarantee
fucking
I
Bronze.
would never say that.
But listen to me.
Um,
If you think of Dustin, you think of fucking Bronze. Obviously, this is gonna
No,
be biased,
no,
but
stop it. No, stop
I'm not
it.
gonna stop. I'm gonna stop
I see, you know what I see, like,
Obviously,
I see-
Be honest.
in sports, okay? So I compare this to, like, sports. When people have the it factor, and you've seen this, like, when you have the it factor, you're unstoppable,
Oh, yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
I've seen a couple people, like, have the it factor and be unstoppable, okay?
Right,
I've
right,
seen
right.
Don Santo have it.
That it factor.
I've seen Toby
yeah.
Toby Holly have it.
Uh-huh.
I've seen, this is on, like, the biggest stage.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
Like, I'm very naive.
I've never
like,
had it on the big stage.
Like, on the big, you know,
Oh, yeah.
on the big
Oh, no,
stage.
I totally
I've
know.
seen Trent Braun have it. Absolutely 110%. I've seen Ziz have it. If last time Ziz ran, he ran down in Arkansas. Okay.
Hold up.
Yeah.
With who?
Do you live down there? Riggs, where are you
Smirnoff.
from?
I'm from Arkansas. Shut up. Hold up. Smeared off in the refrigerator.
Hey,
Smeared
did
off.
you hear that? Riggs wants us smeared
I want
off.
to. I want to fucking smear it off.
He's
Fuck
been
it.
he's got that
No,
thing in the
seriously.
freezer.
She got it though. But listen. Ziz
No,
ran-
seriously.
Hey, who got that for you?
Ziz ran down south. Okay.
Stop. Shut the fuck
And
up.
he had it. He knew when to turn it
Uh-huh.
on. Like, it was unbelievable.
No,
So,
who did he run with though? Did he run with the Toby Holly and the Mark fucking?
no, he didn't. No, he didn't. He came down there. Hey, everybody. He is getting it smeared off.
I am gonna smear.
This is
it off.
unbelievable.
I like it, honestly.
Really.
She opened it. But go ahead. No, like the first years of Hot Springs was Toby and Jeremy Guard's father. They were the ones over it. They ran a team show format. So you had your Maoris, you had your Toby Holly, Mark Elliott, fucking those guys were fucking dominant. Like
Oh, there's
straight
no
up
doubt.
dominant.
But, like, if you're
Oh, yeah.
talking the best
No,
of
you
all
obviously-
time.
You're talking about
mean-
Ziz. You're talking obviously Ziz ran
Nah.
with Mark Elliott and them guys.
Yeah, but
So-
if you're
so-
talking the best of
Oh,
all
they
time.
didn't run much together in the same
They
derbies,
didn't-
I don't think,
yeah.
honestly.
I mean, we'd have to
Then
ask
who,
those guys.
Then who
Yeah.
did Ziz run with? Okay, when you think of the early Hot
Dude,
Springs,
Ziz ran with a lot of people, but it wasn't
No,
those
right.
guys, man. Like,
but you got to remember. Listen to me now. Hot Springs only started in 2010 or 11, right?
Ziz went down there and won it like 16 or 17.
No, stop.
I
he didn't.
promise you.
He didn't.
Yeah, I promise you.
Did he?
Yeah. He handed Vic
Hey.
Whaley and those guys.
Do you remember the early stages of Hot Springs when Tori took the ball?
Yeah, I remember that.
All right, so who does Ziz run with then?
He had a white Ford HD. And I'm telling, yeah, double zero, always double zero.
Roger.
But he handed it to them boys, dude. Late, I'm telling you,
Man.
that's the last big Derby one. That was a $10,000 show.
It was.
That was like Ziz's like fourth or fifth big $10,000 show.
Really?
Dude, you name it, he's won it, man.
No,
I mean,
he probably.
I ain't shitting.
Oh, he has.
No, so okay,
seriously, he's
he's
won it.
No, so we're on the topic, right? We're on the topic. So like when you think of Derby, like of all time, and Wes, I really mean this. Like, who do you think the greatest? Like in your area, obviously it's going to be a bias.
Give your area. Give your area.
Your
Don't-
area,
you know,
not
you-
only your area, but
That's
your
all. That's the
era.
only thing you know. Like
You know,
your area.
right.
Yeah, your area. And
But
your,
who do you think the greatest of all time? When you think of Derby, and who
Hey,
do you think that
Riggs,
just
Riggs.
brings it all?
besides Wes Monebrake, you know,
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely
besides
not
that
Wes
guy,
Monebrake.
besides
Obviously.
that guy.
Obviously, Wes Monebrake.
I mean,
Right.
definitely Ziz and the Bronze and Toby are at the top of the list. I mean,
Mhm.
Mark Elliott definitely won a lot of big shows and good driver.
What separates?
I mean, Paul
those
Petro.
guys?
I mean, Paul Petro's won turnback clock.
No, Paul
Two
Petro's
times?
legit, man.
I mean, there's some good drivers.
I mean, but what separates them guys? I mean, obviously they're, you have a Toby Holly, a builder that is a fucking genius, right? He transcended this sport to where it's,
Oh, yeah.
where it's at today. Where do you rank Toby Holly, as a builder and a driver compared to a Paul Petro in a 73 Pontiac Wagon? Where do you rank those guys?
I think it just depends on the day and night and the luck.
Really?
Oh yeah, I mean, because anything can happen. You know what I mean?
So the competition is, at that high of a level. at that
Oh
point.
yes, I think so. I mean, like I couldn't say any one or the other is any better than the other one. You know what I mean? Because you just never know from a different night. It could
Right.
vary.
I don't know.
I
if
mean,
we've-
hell.
I don't know if we've ever found out.
I don't know that. No,
Like, there's never been a derby.
There's
where
never
it's
been
like,
a derby put on
Mhm.
that has showed you who is ultimately the best driver,
best
even
driver.
at that derby.
Right.
I mean, I think there can be some growing in the sport
Mm-hmm.
to where you could like really put it together to where right here this is your best driver.
Mhm.
At
Yeah,
least for
obviously.
this weekend.
Right,
At
right.
least for this weekend.
like, hey, he got it done.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the Super Bowl, you don't have to be the best team of
Mhm.
the year. You just have to be the best team of the weekend.
Exactly.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
No, you're right. I mean, I believe that.
So I mean,
know-
it's just like
So-
I ran against those guys down here in Preble. I mean,
So
There's a lot of good drivers.
me
It's
and
tough.
Dustin, obviously we just asked you, who do we feel like, Wes Monebrake, like, who's the greatest?
Who's
of
the
all
Wes
time?
Monebrake?
No, who's your like we need to know, like, who is your greatest of all time, like the GOAT right now, right here. Where does Wes rank the top?
me?
driver?
Oh yeah. Who is the top driver?
Who is the top driver? Tell me. Like, honestly, this.
I
is
mean,
it.
I don't know.
And
I
it's
mean,
cool, and it's okay.
That's a lot. You don't.
there are so many
No,
good drivers out there. It's really
right.
hard to say. I mean, Don Santel's got a lot going on.
Obviously,
I mean, and
obviously.
Trent and all the Bronze
Trent.
do. I mean, like all those boys are good.
Okay, so obviously there's a couple in your top three where you really don't know, right?
So
Oh,
Riggs,
yes.
Riggs,
There's
where
a
you at?
bunch.
Where you
You know,
at?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been in a lot of derbies. My dream since 2009. As a kid, I wanted to go to hit every big derby, and that's really that was my dream. And the more derbies I traveled, the more derbies I went to, there was always this one guy that stood out. You know what I mean? You had your Butchie, right? Don Santel stood out, but there was always this one guy that was super dominant. It was Bobby Whitaker. No matter.
Whitaker's
I'll be
yeah.
honest with you.
He always brings up this name.
And I always bring up Bobby
Yeah.
Whitaker because
Bobby, don't be around him. He might take advantage if you.
Yeah,
get drunk.
just
Bobby,
say.
I mean, I'm
I
just
will
telling
fuck you from behind.
Yeah,
No,
like
seriously. No,
there's
seriously.
really no doubt.
When I think of Bobby, man, I'm still like, I'll be honest with you. When I think of Bobby Whitaker, I think of the best of all time. I even put him above Santel. I think when I think of the best of all time, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, I think of Bobby Whitaker. Why does Rick think that? Because Bobby has done it every other fucking weekend, in every other fucking state, across the nation, in every fucking class. When you think of Bobby Whitaker, he can do it in bone stock, he can do it in semi-stock, he can do it in fucking kicker class. Bobby Whitaker is there at the fucking end, everywhere you go, no matter what. He is a fucking driver, and he's the ultimate driver of the fucking Derby Nation.
I think it's
And he does it every other fucking weekend across the board, no matter what state you look at.
Well, he eats, sleeps,
Derby.
fucking breathes Derby. I mean,
Derby.
there's no doubt about that.
Right, obviously.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you know, Santel
I don't know.
would obviously be up there, but I'm telling you right now, Bobby Whitaker is that fucking badass.
He's that dude.
When I tell you Bobby Whitaker,
he's that
listen to
dude.
me. Listen to me, Bobby. When we went in the Blizzard Bash last year, listen to
Say
me.
it. I love you, man. Tell him.
I love it.
I love these stories too.
There were
Let's
six.
go.
There were 6 fucking teams in the B main.
Yeah.
All right, and every fucking team, politics against the IFD said IFD, we're taking you out first. And then there was Bobby Whitaker and Chris Collins, like Johnson Red Crew and Chris, like IFD. We couldn't fuck. There was 45 minutes in the fucking feature, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? We can't take Bobby Whitaker out for shit. Like, everybody, it doesn't matter what position you put Bobby Whitaker in. It doesn't matter what derby you put Bobby Whitaker in. It doesn't matter what stage Bobby Whitaker is in. He's taking it down.
Hey, there's no
Hey,
doubt.
that happens all the time too, man.
Those dudes, those dudes are those dudes.
He is
Oh,
that
yeah.
fucking guy.
And that's what happens too
I
when
have
you get
all
hot.
of it.
Like if you're like you were talking about getting hot and winning derbies and stuff
having
like that.
that it moment.
Oh
right?
yeah, having that it moment.
You know,
Yeah,
Bobby Whitaker, man, is something special. I don't know if you personally race against him.
No,
You know,
I might have
obviously,
ran mayhem against him.
You know,
once.
he's a multi, mayhem champion.
Oh
He
yeah.
is.
He's something special. He really is. He's quiet. You know, he doesn't really involve in the drama.
No, he doesn't like.
or the entertainment. But man, as a driver, I'm constantly watching. You know, I'm a student in the game, and I think we're all students of the game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I'm telling you, Bobby is something special to watch. And my personal opinion, you have Bobby Whitaker at number 1, and you got Butch at number 2.
Really?
Really?
Give me a 3.
I love Toby Holly, and I love everything he brought to the game. Toby Holly is the baddest builder in the nation. Obviously, it's unique because we're all sitting here, we're talking about, drivers, but talk about your builders. Talk about your builders.
So
we have builders.
hold that off. Let's get into that in a second.
Mhm.
We got drivers, okay? So, like, coming from my perspective, there's always different perspectives. But like I told you, it's about the it moments for me.
Mhm.
I've never seen anybody be in a more it moment consistently than Trent Braun. I really haven't, guys. I mean,
I agree.
like
Especially
really,
because
like
of
you-
Ash. I mean,
guys, every
Honestly?
single fucking year you can't beat him
Like,
because
he has
he's
that
in the
fucking
moment. Like it's really unreal.
oh yeah.
He's ran Bash 5 times. Let me give you the numbers. He's ran Bash 5 times. He's won it 4 times. The only time he didn't win it is when he got thrown out.
Got thrown out for no
That's
reason.
it.
For no reason.
For absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
It was like
No.
total bullshit. So you're telling me you can run. We talked about the caliber of what Bash was back in the day
Mhm.
and what it is now. It's still a high caliber show.
Oh yeah.
No, it is. It is.
You're talking about one guy
Mhm.
being able to win it. Not that place, okay? Not win the heat.
Mhm.
Not get top 5, not get top 3, but win it consistently every year. It's really
fucking bronze.
unbelievable.
Honestly, it's bronze.
No, it's not bronze. Guys,
Trent.
it's not bronze. It's
It's
Trent.
Trent. Oh, yeah.
It's Trent. Trent Braun
He
is.
is very impressive.
Like, honestly.
If
like,
you watch the Bash for Cash, Trent
I-
Braun is unfucking real.
This is the first time I went to Bass for Cash, and I watched Trent, because you told me, watch
I
Trent
told you.
Braun.
I
And
told
what
you.
I watched Trent
Watch
Braun,
this
and guess what happened?
motherfucker.
Trent Braun put off a first place fucking finish. And I was like, what the fuck?
But
I was mind blown.
You know what Trent does, what other people don't do, though? Is he
Uh-oh.
takes on the wars and he wins them. He
Oh, yeah.
always, the best drivers always win the wars. He always wins the war.
no, he does.
Like people like on he even said it like in the interviews. He's like, people want to talk shit about us, like sandbagging and stuff. They don't sandbag.
No, they
People
don't say that.
always pick a fight with
Right.
them, and guess
No,
who
they do.
wins?
They do.
They
They win.
always win.
Right.
Yeah, obviously.
Like,
Obviously.
That's what people need to like. I feel like that's what people need to recognize. It's not like I'm like,
Mhm.
it's not like I'm the biggest Braun fan in the world. Like, but I respect them more, so much, man,
No, you
because
do.
it's unbelievable. Trent is unbelievable.
No, okay, so
Right.
like, obviously we talked about drivers. Wes gave his top, and I gave my top. Bobby Whitaker and Santel. They done it over and over again at the highest level in every fucking state. Where do you rank your top three in drivers?
So my drivers are it's hard.
Start at number 3. We know.
Obviously Wes. It's fucking hard. But listen,
that's hard. I honestly think
It's
if you're going to go the spectrum though, I honestly probably put Don at the top.
At the top.
At the
And
top.
I'm cool with that.
I'm serious.
Cool with it.
I only dock Trent because he's only done it in a wagon. But I don't know if you should be docked for that. Like, I don't know how we should judge this.
No,
we're like,
obviously,
hey, we're the first people. Like, this podcast and everything is the first people to actually talk about it. Like,
Right.
where should people actually be ranked? Like, what matters?
Mhm.
If you run 80s, does that count? If you run old school, does that count? Like, so, like, I don't know where to quite rank people.
No.
So it's like, I don't know, man.
Everything matters. Look at Whitaker, and that's why I'm such a huge Whitaker fan, because he's done it in bone stock. He's done it in fucking in semi stock. He's done it in weld. He's done it in
Where
in the
are those,
icon
the
class.
problem that I have with that is where's the numbers? Like we as a derby
Whitaker
community,
done it
we
with
don't-
the best of the best.
I know, but we don't keep track of the numbers and we don't talk about them. So like everybody's not educated on how much he's done.
Right.
You know, that.
Obviously,
So like
when you talk about
Riggs,
the goal,
you could be absolutely 100% right, but like the derby community doesn't do a good job at
Right.
representing the numbers,
Right.
so we
No.
don't know. You know,
obviously, I post stuff on Facebook, right? Obviously,
I've never seen that.
Shut the fuck up.
Wes, I've
No,
never seen
seriously,
that.
when you talk about the
Snapchat.
greatest
Snapchat
person,
stuff.
Does Riggs take Snapchats? I don't know.
a little bit. But listen, when you talk about the GOAT and you talk about the greatest of all time, obviously, that's a pretty deep
That's
discussion.
it's
right?
real deep.
Oh yeah.
And obviously, it's an opinionated it's everybody's gonna be biased towards their guy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're never gonna get the same answer.
The list can continue.
The
I mean,
list
like it is
fucking
so
goes,
crazy.
right?
Yeah, we don't want to like
mean,
disrespect anybody.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
we're
and
not.
drivers coming. I mean, heck,
Ah,
Brad Taylor. I mean,
fucking look at the Taylors.
used to run with. Yeah, I mean, like
Yes.
there's so many.
Dude,
crazy-
there's so many
There's
guys,
so many
man.
people.
Like Brad
you know-
could come back tomorrow and be like right there, one of the best drivers again.
Right,
I mean,
right.
you know what I mean?
No,
Uh-huh.
so when I talk about the GOAT, I don't mean to disrespect anyone.
No, it's just our opinion.
When you think of the GOAT, the greatest of all time,
God bless
GOAT,
America.
Like you think of Bobby Whitaker. You think
No.
he's done it in every state, every derby, every venue, at every level, at every class.
You think
Yeah, absolutely.
I got 5.
the cars of tomorrow? What are they? Not today. Tomorrow. What are
Tomorrow, Wes, I'm gonna give you first shot, and then I'm gonna come in and bank it. Go ahead.
Well, they're definitely not making Crown Vics anymore.
Obviously.
they? But how long?
No, seriously.
So Mitch and I talked about
Uh-huh.
this. Okay, we had a podcast. The last podcast was talking about this. How long is it before we switch from full frame to mid size
we got a lot
slash
of years
compact
Oh
cars?
yeah, they made so many
Yeah,
Crown Vics.
we got a lot of years.
There's
left.
plenty
You got to
years.
think, man.
Well, okay. Let's think
Crown
about this.
Vic ain't the
Wagons.
fucking clamshell. Obviously, clamshell.
But wagons are around
Well,
for 50 years.
Well, we have all these hoarders of wagons.
No,
You're right. We have all these orders, but that was 50 years. So do you think Crown Vic's got 30 years? You think got
Yeah.
20 years? What do
Oh,
they got?
I can tell you right now, they made a lot more Crown Vics than they did wagons.
hey, I can
There's
tell you
no
this.
doubt.
I can tell you how many Crown Vics I got in the yard. You don't want to know.
Hey,
Riggs.
quit crushing those
You
03.
can't
No,
with
I'm
them-
saying,
hey,
I'm saying you. I can
didn't
tell you
even
how
bring
many
a tra- hey,
9802s
Did
I
you bring a
got.
trailer load of cars this weekend when you came out?
I didn't, Wes.
Okay.
It wasn't
what
a
is
fucking
he
wagon,
doing?
so I didn't.
Hey, I would
Honestly.
appreciate if you brought me.
But I can tell you
5
how
or
many
6.
9802s and up that we have.
How many you got?
We got 30 plus sitting in the yard, and we're steadily crushing.
Mhm.
Obviously, I hate crushing. I hate crushing new style, but obviously my uncle, he wants to make the decision to crush.
Somebody,
new style.
hey, somebody boo that man. I mean,
Obviously it sucks. It sucks.
There's
but,
no reason to crush a derby car.
there's nothing I can do about it. But I would tell you, we have a lot of fucking Fords. We have a lot of clean Fords, and I see a very bright future for where I'm headed, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon as far as Fords.
Oh yeah,
You know,
Fords will be here
9802
for a
is
while.
03 and up. I don't see it slowing down. It's, you know, if you look at the 9802, you know, 03 and up production, it's nothing compared to the production to, you know, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76 clamshells. You know, motherfucker, these fuckers produced quadruple the amount of Fords compared to clamshells, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I don't see it slowing down anytime soon.
Mhm.
But I do think honestly that we are in a weird spot. You know where we're at. You know, as a Derby community, I do. I think we're headed. I hate to say it, we're headed down the dark road, but I feel like we're headed down the dark road. I feel like we are in a very dark spot. You know, not only are we, you know, drivers competing against drivers, right? But promotions or promoters are competing against promoters.
Oh yeah.
You know, you got to look at it
It
nowadays.
is that day and age.
You know, if you look at back in like 2010, 11, and 12, you know, we only had a couple big shows out there. You know, all the fucking big time drivers were chasing those big time checks, right?
Oh yeah.
So now, you know, we're in 2019, and we have all these big promotions going on. We have this promotions. We have 2 or 3 different big promotions going on the same fucking weekend. And guess what happens? We cut down. Say we have 2 big shows. Okay, say we have a show in Hot Spring, Arkansas, and we have a show in
Give it to us, Riggs.
in fucking Kentucky the same weekend. Guess what happens? We cut down half on commission coming through the gate.
Yep.
We cut down on half the fucking numbers coming through. You know, it's drivers. We cut down on spectators. We cut down on commission. We cut down on absolutely fucking everything. You know, and I say we got the. What I mean is, not only do we have drivers competing against drivers, but we have promoters competing against promoters, and I think we have so many different type of promotions out there. You know, it ain't like it was back in the day. You know, 8 years ago, where your big name drivers were hopping.
What's the fix to that though? Like, does somebody got to step up and be like, "Hey, they got to change the game"? Like, what is that? What is the fix to that?
Obviously, you are throwing that shit my way. All right, so I'll go ahead and answer it.
I'm throwing it his way.
You know what?
I kicked
what
you
is
under the
fix?
table.
You know what is the fix? You know, obviously, I don't know what the fix is, but I can tell you this. You know, I honestly don't like where we're headed as a sport. You know, I don't like where we're at as a sport. You know, I feel like we should be so much further advanced. You know, I feel like we have so many promotions out there that pay, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars for venues. You know, I feel like we should be on fucking ESPN right now. I can wake up in the morning. They're fucking playing ping pong,
Cornhole tournaments, bud.
you know, cornhole. We're going
to practice up as soon as we're
some
done here.
bullshit, right?
Hey,
No,
so
seriously.
what is the difference between Demolition Derby and that?
Obviously, we're not organized. You know,
We're not
If you look
organized.
at Demolition Derby, you know, we're the only sport out there that's not organized,
Right.
and it sucks. And
You
it
have
sucks.
no organization.
You know, I think that we can be so much further advanced than what we are. I believe that drivers can be like obviously getting paid so much more than what we are. I believe there was the route that we could have took to go there, and we didn't take it. You know. What do I blame that on? Obviously, I don't know. I'm still young. I'm still learning the game, but you know, I feel like we should be a lot further advanced. You know, I care for where we're at. I care for us as a sport. You know, this is a passion. You know, this is a passion that I absolutely love, just like you love.
Yeah.
Just like you love, and just like Tyler Bringer's love, and just everybody that wakes up that's viewing this channel.
Yeah.
That, you know, when they wake up in the morning, they love Demolition Derby. You know, I care for us that much. I feel like we should be so much further advanced, and we're not.
No, I agree with you. I think somebody's going to have to step up and be an organizer between all the promoters and try to organize it to where it can be bigger and better.
Absolutely.
That is that's a tough situation to be in. There's
is
a
tough,
lot of
man.
shit going on out there.
You know, it's tough, man, because, you know, honestly, Obviously, I kind of been away from the sport for a couple of years from the driver's seat. And
We didn't. Wes, we didn't know about the post though.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't post nothing. But listen,
this guy. Snap.
Man.
If you're on Snapchat, bro, you didn't know that.
Obviously, listen. Aside all the fucking jokes, right? Durgan obviously isn't what it was, 3 or 4 years ago, and that's the hard truth.
I'm so tired.
Wes, you can sit here and give me every reason and throw every fucking blame or give me every pro and con. Tell me that Derbian's better now than it was 3 or 4 years ago. You can't give me a reason.
No, I mean, I can't give you a reason why it's better or why it would be even worse. I mean, there's really no difference. I mean, I don't see it's fell any. I mean, like, the one thing I do think is I think
look at Bash for Cash. You're right here at Bash for Cash, Wes. You're right here. You're 2 hours from Bash for Cash.
It's fell.
Tell me the difference.
It's fell
in 3 years, Wes.
20 cars.
Tell me the
right.
difference.
No,
Right.
and it has. And I think that's just because whether it be money, whether it be time working on cars, whether people were afraid to go because they're afraid of the competition. I mean, that I couldn't tell you. I mean, like...
But obviously, no doubt. Let's get it out there. No doubt. Has Derbian fell off at a big venue like Bash for Cash in the last 3 or 4 years? How many cars do we have in the Carrier class this year? I mean,
It was,
let's be
I don't know
honest.
how many was in it.
It was like 34,
30?
36.
How many did we have in 2015? 100 plus?
No.
No, it wasn't 100 plus, but it was.
It what,
67.
It was
80?
probably 60.
Okay.
I have to go back through and count it, but I mean, it was definitely more.
It was
you
a
know?
huge step off.
Right.
And I really feel like that. I feel like it's every year that we progress, we're falling off. Look at Tori shooting. Why did he get out?
I mean, there's so many big shows, too.
Right.
People can't...
No, right.
I mean, you can't build a car for $10,000
Every fucking show. Like,
no.
And I just, I obviously just...
Hey, it's oversaturated.
It
There's
is,
no
it
doubt.
is.
Right.
Yeah, and may the best prevail. Really,
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I don't care who prevails, but like, may the best prevail.
Right. No, you're absolutely right.
I think a lot of people like have the best intentions for the game,
Uh-huh.
and may the best prevail. That's really what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm. No,
I'm
look,
all
I
about
agree.
it.
But I can tell you this, as a driver, as a spectator, as a fan, as a student of the game, I care for the sport. And I feel like you Wes, and I feel like you Dustin. I feel like y'all care for the sport as well, and I want y'all, and I know y'all care for the sport, and y'all want it to go in the right direction, and I know y'all know there needs to be some changes.
I talked to Steve Siopa the other night.
Mhm.
We'll kind of maybe wrap it up on this, but I talked to Steve Siopa the other night, and I was explaining to him what the atmosphere was like when him and fucking Bronze were going at it 2 years ago. Siopa's versus Bronze.
Oh, yeah, it was all
fucking
It was
wild, dog.
motherfucking. I was talking to Steve, and I was like, "Dude, that was fucking nuts." He's like, "Really?" Because
Oh, so he
as a
didn't
You
know.
can't
driver-
tell- you can't tell when you're...
no, as a
No,
driver,
right.
you don't get to experience that. You just know that there's always a lot of drama when
Mhm.
you're a driver, right?
Mhm.
You know, especially at a big show. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
"Oh my God, Wes Monebrake's here with that fucking wagon, dude. Jesus Christ, I ain't got enough."
Right.
One of those shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey man, it's happened.
No, it really
And-
has.
Seriously.
Seriously, Wes, don't
Yeah.
fucking give me
When
that
Wes
look.
shows up with a wagon, you got your hands full, okay? But like seriously, when you're Steve Siopa and you're sitting there and you're like, you see a fucking Braun for life,
Mhm.
Siopa for life.
Oh,
Dude.
yeah. It was
Oh,
wild.
my
It
God.
was
Yeah.
wild, man.
Yeah.
It was wild.
It was fucking wild. No matter what
Yes.
else happened that feature, we
Mhm.
knew that when that feature flag dropped,
Mhm.
it was going to be chaos. Now listen, it only lasted like 5 minutes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
But that 5 minutes was like the best 5
the
minutes.
build up. It wasn't the 5
Absolutely.
minutes. It was the
Right.
build
Right.
up.
It was.
No, it was.
So I feel like Derbian's missing that entertainment.
No, we are.
The
We are.
entertainment, man.
We are. I mean, look, man. We want action. Like, spectators pay that money to come watch the Derby. Like, they want to see a
Let's
fucking
give
Derby.
them action.
Right.
Let's give them a Siopa and Bronze
Let's
action.
give them the build up.
Let's give them a Nathan Brown, Logan Duvall, and Pete Hansen action. You know, that's
Hey,
what
that
we
was-
want to
hey,
see. Like that's
by the
what
Oh
way,
we
yeah,
want
they
to
were
highlight.
getting with
By
it
the way,
too.
that was wild.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
wild. That was
Oh
absolutely
yeah, they were
fucking
getting
wild.
with it.
You know, that's what spectators want to see. That's where we want to go. You know, obviously, you know, we don't want a 3.5 hour feature.
No, we don't.
You know,
want
we want an hour top feature.
Even
and
us.
we want to fucking kick ass.
We're
and go.
derby guys
right?
till we fucking bleed to death. But
right.
we don't. I don't want to sit there and watch a 3.5 hour feature.
No,
Like
absolutely
I don't want to do it.
I know. I've done it.
It's-
Look, I've done it, but
No.
I don't want to do
Guys, we got to change the
it.
sport,
But,
bro.
but I tell you, man, listen. You know, when we have venues out there that are producing 1 hour features, like fucking people are talking about it. Like people are excited about shit like that. When people come to Bash for Cash, they see the fucking Cyclops against the Bronze.
Yep.
Or they see the Nathan Browns and Logan Duvall's against the Pete Hansen and fucking.
Hey, by the way, who you think won that battle?
You gonna put me on the spot like
I'm
that?
gonna put you on the spot. Like
Listen,
that.
I'm a Nathan Brown fan. You know, I think Nathan Brown is one of the greatest in the game. You know, from a builder.
Nathan
and,
Brown was out early. I
listen
just
to me.
want
No,
to let you
he
know.
was.
Yeah, Nathan.
Hey,
was
Hey,
See,
he was
like
out
that
early,
happens.
bro.
So
But
you
like
can't-
we
no.
talked about earlier,
Anything
it's
can
flip
happen.
of a coin.
Hey,
Anything
it
can
is a
happen
fact.
any
you know,
night.
know what happened to Nathan Brown? He
Fucking-
shredded a rear tire and he couldn't move.
Yeah.
So like, it wasn't like it was like,
Mm.
hey, he got a
You
shit
know-
handed.
you
to
That's
know
him.
what
why?
I'm saying. You
No, it's
got
just-
to have
right.
luck on your side
Yeah,
while
you,
you're
you,
out
There
there.
is
obviously
no
you do.
doubt.
You listen.
So
you
who?
know,
So
we're right now.
who was winning
Who
that
won
battle?
that battle? I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna give you 2 points right
All
here,
right,
right?
all right.
Okay, so like obviously it was Nathan. Logan pushed on fucking Pete hard. It was Logan and Pete really the whole fucking heat.
It was Logan.
And
Pete.
I honestly
Nathan
thought,
showed up like.
I'll be
periodically.
honest with you, and this is just my personal opinion, but I thought Logan put the pressure on Pete. But it was that first initial rollover. It was a controversial call. I don't know what it was. I was a spectator in the fans, just like you and just like you. I don't know if Tim and Russ was like, "Hey Pete, don't use the back end." I don't know what it was, but Pete, it changed.
He did
Pete's
back down
drive
with his
style.
back end a little
He
bit. Yeah.
backed down. He was not at
And I'm
that
sure that's
point-
what happened.
and it might have been, but
That's
it was
had
at that
to be the
point.
conversation that happened.
But
like,
that
hey,
that conversation should never happen.
That should have never happened.
The conversation, you
should never
either
happen.
build a car that can run in the Derby,
Or don't fucking or
you're
you
not
should
yeah,
running.
like
never,
you could like
obviously.
kind of
Yes.
like what I felt there. Like you guys tell me if I'm wrong. They were telling Pete that he can only use one end of his car now.
Right.
No,
That's
and-
what I felt
and
like.
you should never be told
You
that.
should never been
No,
told
like
that.
Right.
If they didn't like the back end, and I'm saying this, and it is what it is. If they did not like the back end, they
shouldn't
should
have ran.
never
It
let
shouldn't
the
have ran.
back car. They shouldn't have let that
Right.
car in the
Yeah.
Derby, right? And I felt like when he rode Logan, okay, and it was a slight rollover. It wasn't necessarily intentional. It wasn't
No, it wasn't
the baddest
bad.
rollover.
He
of
rode
the
him over
fucking
on the
season.
side.
It
like,
was just it was a slight rollover,
Yeah.
and it is what it is, right? You know,
I felt
obviously
that it was
a
like
rollover.
hey, let's get it on.
Right. Obviously, it was a battle, right? And
Yeah.
and that's what, as spectators, that's what we want to see.
that's absolutely
But
what
listen,
we want to see.
At that point, it was a game changer because I felt like promotions really stepped on Pete's foot. It was like, hey, don't use your back end
Yeah.
no more. And it was very. It was
Yeah, and I
very
don't know what
obvious.
was said, but
And I don't know
obviously
what was said
something
either.
had to be
Obviously,
said just because
something had to be
it did
said.
change his driving style some.
Right.
So
No, it did. It changed his drive style. He was less aggressive.
right.
You know, he backed down from a lot of battles. You know, there was a lot of positions
Yeah, I mean,
he was
he
in
could-
that he could have took
He
shots.
could have
and he
lined that
didn't.
ass end up and fucking just continued
You
to
know,
roll people.
You know, but
I mean,
but
that's what
again,
it was set up for.
Oh, yeah.
There's
You know,
no doubt.
You know, obviously, I'm gonna say it on there. I was there, but I don't know what was said, right? You know, I don't know exactly what happened, but I can tell you from a spectator standpoint, it was pretty obvious. You know, it's kind of funny because you know if you go back and rewind that Derby, you know if you take Pete and Logan and Nathan out of that, say if Pete and Logan and Nathan would have ran together, guess what would have happened? Guess who would have got top
Well,
3?
Gage.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Guess
you
who
gotta
would have
take
got
Gage.
top 5?
You gotta talk about Gage.
No,
now,
obviously,
because Gage
yeah.
had
Obviously, yes. But it would have changed the whole dynamic of the whole fucking Derby. Like that was the Derby. That whole feature, it was Nate, Logan, Pete.
They got it on.
All right.
Oh,
so,
yeah, they got it on from the
so-
beginning.
So like, right,
You know-
no, they did. But go back to the beginning. If they would have changed it would have changed the whole dynamic. If Logan and fucking Pete and Nathan would be like, you know what, guys, hey, this is what. If you go back, it was Nathan, Logan, and fucking Gage
Pete.
lined up.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, you know who was running together.
yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hey,
right?
it's
Yep.
us against the field, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
us against the field, and
we
brought
can,
enough. That's
exactly.
that's what that meant.
We
Yeah.
can
We
sit here
brought
and
enough.
say if we can sit here and say if and buts all day long, right? Obviously the winners won. They were the best that night, but honestly, I feel like
And hey, give credit where credit's due.
Right,
Tyler
honestly,
Brangers.
yeah. If you look at Tyler
Willis.
and Doug and
It's
who else?
was it? Well, wait. Tyler Brangers ran Doug Willis's car. Who got
and
second?
Kelly,
Is it Michael Kelly?
Michael
Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
obviously.
Okay.
But listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you go back, and we'll end on this, but listen,
Yep.
if we go back and we change the dynamic of the fucking feature, if Logan would have went to fucking Pete and be like, you know what, Pete, listen, we're gonna do things different. Guess who would have got top 5?
Why do you think that happened like that though?
Well, you know why? Because fucking look at Justin Buchanan.
Like you've been to Logan's house.
I
You've
have.
been to Nathan
I
Brown.
have.
Like, do you think they just were like fuck
No,
it?
I
Pete
think-
Hansen ain't shit to us. Like,
no, I don't think that.
well, how did that happen?
I honestly 110% disagree. I don't think they thought that. I thought they knew that Pete was going to be a fucking challenge coming. I knew they knew Pete was going to be a fucking hammer coming forward.
Okay.
I knew
Right.
that. Obviously from what I gathered off Facebook, Pete was like straight up, hey man, I didn't like how last year went. We gonna fucking get it on this year, and that's how it went. And I honestly believe that because I had several conversations with Pete at several big venues, and he's always been absolutely real with me. He's been completely honest with me. He had no reason to lie. He had no reason to sugarcoat anything. He was honest with me. So when I saw on social media after the Derby, when Logan and Pete was like, you know what, maybe we should have stayed off each other. That's when I was like, you know what? What happens if they would have stayed off each other? What would have happened? It would have been fucking Gage, Pete,
Oh,
Nate.
and that's for another
That
podcast. But I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
yeah, I
we
think-
can talk about that running styles and like, hey,
that
who do
would
I
have been a
run
whole
with? It's
top
just like
5.
me. Do I run with the bronze
Right.
from the beginning
What do you
till
do?
we get down to us, or
Yeah, like how does that
hey,
work?
do we say, hey, let's get it on? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, it's just.
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
all that decides on the factor on how
But-
the outcome's going
But
to happen.
ending in conclusion, for whatever happened between Logan, Nathan, and Gage, and however the politics fell in that heat, for Pete to stand up and say, you know what, I didn't like what happened last year. We're gonna get it on this year.
I like that.
That goes. To
I
show,
fucking
man,
like that, dude.
He's all about business. And
Oh, yeah,
you
he
know,
is.
that's
Pete's a
awesome
great
to see.
driver.
And
And,
hey, by the way, the year before, Buchanan and those guys were
It
not
was a fucking
about
battle.
to let him.
Wes,
Yeah,
it was a fucking
Buchanan,
battle.
fucking
Yeah, fucking
Seegers.
everybody.
Seeger,
Yeah, Seeger,
who
fucking
was running
Clifton.
Clifton.
Clifton, Seeger, fucking Justin.
They fucking
everybody.
got it on.
So when Pete came this year in 2019,
yeah,
and he said, you know what, I didn't like how last year went. We're gonna get it on this year. It is what
I
it is.
like that shit though.
I like.
That's
I
what I
love
like
yeah.
to see.
He's a fucking
Like
dog.
I like to see Pete Hansen say, you know what, let's get it on
You
again.
mean tell you who didn't step back? And I know we're in closing, but guess who didn't step back? Logan put the fucking pressure on Pete. I don't care what anybody says. Logan applied the pressure. He continued to put pressure on Pete the whole fucking feature. And
Hey,
that
listen.
was
Hey,
it,
we
man.
talked about this in a podcast before.
They put each other.
Logan Duvall is
Is
determined to win a $10,000 derby, but at his how he
Expense.
wants to win it.
Right.
Like not at
Oh,
his
yeah.
expense, but he will
How
run.
he's going to run. He's going to
as-
run hard.
Like he's gonna run hard, and if he wins
Right.
it, he wins it. If he don't, he'll
No.
take third, he'll take fifth,
No,
Right.
He will,
take
he will.
whatever.
Eh.
If he runs a little bit softer, dude,
Absolutely.
the motherfucker will win 3 or 4 $10,000 derbies.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Look,
But he
Nathan-
won't do it. Like he
No.
will not. He will not do it.
Nathan, I put it to you like about Logan. I'm 26 years old. I'm Logan's age.
Here we go with
You know,
that
he's
age
25.
again.
Yeah.
You know, he could be 26. He accepts all challenges at any
Those guys
expense.
aren't scared. They're not scared.
They're
of
not
nothing.
scared at all.
Right.
He's gonna bring it every fucking night, no matter who's the fuck is there. And he's gonna put it on the show. You know, whether he's gonna win it or he's gonna take last place. When he gets out of that car at night, Logan is gonna raise his hand and say, "You know what? I gave it my best." And that's the thing about Logan.
And the thing is,
and I
they're good
give Logan-
dudes.
no, they are. I give Logan and Nathan and all them guys. When they get out of the car at night, they gave it their all.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
champions. They're champions. And I tell you, Logan is the best in the fucking game.
Hey,
He is the baddest young
Riggs,
driver of the fucking
last
nation.
thing I want to talk about, though. I want to talk about this.
All right, we'll talk about
What
it.
excites you about a derby?
What excites me about a derby, man? Obviously, time has changed. Times has changed. If you look at the average feature back in the day, it was like an hour and like 20 minutes, right? If you look at the average feature now, 15, 16, 20, 30, 40 fucking cars in the feature. It's 3.5 hours, right? So what excites me now? What excites me now is fucking features. Like people that go out there and fucking turn it on, put it on for the spectators, and fucking put on a show. That's what excites me, man. Obviously.
So when we're talking about that, like, what do you mean? Like,
Man, like
what,
honestly,
what is getting Zach
it's-
Riggs to
it's-
click on a fucking
You can be honest with you,
Facebook podcast?
I'm on a podcast right now, so I'm gonna be honest with you. For Zach Riggs to go out there and fucking run a 3.5 hour fucking feature,
I'm not watching that.
I don't think I can do it.
I
Wes,
think
if you want to be honest, I don't think I have the patience to do it.
there's no doubt.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no fucking way. So if we're at Blizzard Bash and Zach Riggs is in a feature in the last 4 hours, I don't. Zach Riggs ain't running that. Zach Riggs ain't winning it.
Yeah, he ain't winning it.
I'm not winning that bitch
Yeah.
at all, right? So I'm going in there. I'm gonna be a little bit aggressive. I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna knock some fucking.
But I'm
heads
talking about like into a show.
into a show.
Like we're talking about like the premiere show of the
Mhm.
year is a month away.
Mhm.
What gets you to tune in? Like what are you looking at? Obviously Facebook is big into
obviously,
today.
Drama, man. With anything in life, it's drama, right? So when you think about drama, you think of entertainment.
What's that
you
drama?
think about
What's that
negativity.
drama?
You highlighted. Like back in the day, it was me and Blake Neely with Di. It was me and Adam with EPR, right? That was because we highlighted the fucking drama, and that's what it is. So like when you highlight battles, when you highlight, individuals that fucking can't stand each other. Because we're in a sport that we can go out there and bust each other's fucking ass. We can pull on the fucking track and we can say, you know what, I'm about to fuck you up. When you highlight that, that's exciting. People want to see
There's
that.
not a lot of sports that we can say that. in.
Look
Like
at boxing.
it's legit.
Oh,
I'm about
no,
to
it
fuck
is.
you up.
Oh, yeah.
Look at Trevor Jones. When Trevor Jones is Trevor Jones, he pulls in the arena and pulls nose out and says, you know what, fuck it. I'm about to go forward. But no, seriously.
I'm not a big fan of
No,
that.
you
Like
might not-
leaving early shit.
Yeah,
like
no,
I'm
fuck
not.
it. No,
I like Trevor. Like a lot.
I love Trevor.
But like
It is what
I'm
it
not
is.
a
But listen,
big fan of leaving early shit.
when you tell
Because
me
you get an unfair advantage if you leave early.
It
You
is
can
what
break
it is.
somebody's shit
5,
real
4, 3,
quick.
2,
Oh,
1.
yeah.
It is what it. But when you highlight Derby, and what is Derby about? Let's not forget what's Derby about. What is Derby about, Wes? What's it about? Every 60 seconds, what do you do?
Oh, you have to make a hit.
You have to
Aggressive
make
hit.
a what?
You should be making aggressive
An
hits.
aggressive hit. This ain't no fucking pit pat fucking patty whack shit in the fucking background. Go out there, bust each other's ass.
Is that what you're going to put on your trunk next time you build a
I'm
car?
not gonna do it.
Yeah, no shit.
No, that's just what I'm about.
Back.
You go out there, you
Hey,
bust
this is
each
what
other's
this guy
ass.
does. So just
No, seriously,
stay away from him.
I honestly try to drive hard for the fans.
Oh, yeah.
Because at the end
Stop
of the day, guess
it.
what it's about? No,
Stop it.
No, it doesn't.
You better
I
drive
take-
hard to win. That's what it's about. It's
Yeah,
not about the
obviously,
fans.
I'm not
It's
a
about
Bobby
driving
Whittaker.
to win.
I'm not a Bobby Whittaker. I'm not a Butchie. I'm not a fucking Wes Monebrake. I'm not even in a fucking Dustin Woods. When I go out to drive, I feel the track and I want to bust some motherfucker's ass.
I like it.
I
I
like
like
it.
it
When I
too.
pull on the track, I want to bust your fucking ass, Wes. How do you feel about that?
I'm putting you on your top rigs.
you got like fuck.
Hey, hey,
No, seriously.
we'll wrap it up there, man. I appreciate Wes Monebrake for coming on. Zach
I
Riggs for
appreciate
coming
you,
on.
Wes. I love you, Wes.
This was something else, man.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
This
It
is
was,
awesome.
it was.
Talking
appreciate it.
talking some real shit. In the derby world, a lot of people don't talk real shit.
Mhm.
It because they're scared of this, scared of that. It is what it is, man. This is how it is. Triple D Promotions,
Triple D.
episode 6, The War Room, man. It's called The War Room for a reason. We tell it how it is. Over and out.
All right, thank you.